gold league as we per se, because it of course we now have two leagues in ALR, gold and silver. So even though this is season 3 of ALR, it is will now be called gold, and of course the one tomorrow will be silver. As I gotta say, that's absolutely cracking names, isn't it, for leagues? I absolutely love it. And what I also love is that we got some track action, we got some racing that is finally returning after several weeks out. Oh, it's been a long old winter, hasn't it? But finally we've got some motor racing in store for us tonight, and we are here and we are now ready in the showroom and to view the cars and who's going to be driving where in this new season. So season 3 of ALR, that's incredible, isn't it? Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And I hope you're going to enjoy this league. I hope you're enjoying yourselves right now. Let's go through the runners and riders, shall we, from season 3. We haven't got any debutants tonight, but and we also have a couple of returnees as well, so it's absolutely excellent stuff, isn't it? Let's start off with the Constructors Champion, shall we? And that is the Renault F1 team. Of course, they had a 1-2, didn't they, back in Abu Dhabi last time out, and it was also the night where Granty Boy clinched his World Championship in fine style, wasn't it? Unfortunately, Emerson's night didn't go too well, as him and one family member came together at turn 1. I think they had Christmas dinner together, possibly. I don't know, but Dan's still a bit salty about it. And talking of Dan Murphy, he will be driving one half of the Renault team this season, and alongside him is Twang. Dan Murphy, of course, made his debut back in the first ever ALR race, season 1 in Australia. He's had 33 starts, 3 pole positions, 11 podiums, 4 fastest laps. He's had a Driver of the Day award as well, and in his career total, he's only had 6 DNFs, so he's a Mr. Consistent, isn't he? Alongside him is Twang, of course, another veteran of ALR as well. He made his debut back in China season 1. Blimey, that's a long time ago, isn't it? 16 starts for Twang. He's had 2 podiums in his career, a fastest lap, and he's also had 6 DNFs as well. I gotta say, Team Renault is probably looking odds on to reclaim their Constructors Championship, looking very good as well. Up next, then, we got the Racing Point, formerly known as Force India, the Pink Panthers, and in the Racing Points we have Gunnar making his debut back in Bahrain season 1. Again, another veteran. He is the most experienced driver in ALR history with 35 starts. And of course he's had a Driver of the Day as well. I think it was in Monza. It was a cracking drive as well. Next to him is the first ever ALR World Champion. That is Nigel. Nigel, of course, has got the most points in ALR history with 392 so far. Made his debut back in China season 1. He's had 29 starts, 6 wins. I think he is the most successful ALR driver in history so far. 3 pole positions, 17 podiums. Incredible. 1 fastest lap, a Driver of the Day as well. He's only had 1 Driver of the Day in his career, my goodness. And of course he's had 4 DNFs, but again a very consistent driver as well. Next on the team list, of course, who came third in the Constructors last time out, is the Toro Rosso team. And in the Toro Rosso team we have a returning driver. Of course, he made his return a couple of races last season as well, which is Storm. He made his debut back in Austria of season 1. He's had got 48 points in his career. He's only had 6 starts so far. Hopefully he'll have a lot more this season. 1 pole position to his name as well, a cracking lap as well. I think he was in Silverstone, wasn't it? 2 podiums, and he's also had 2 DNFs as well. Alongside him is Fisher. Fisher, of course, incredible last season, wasn't he? He was fantastic, wasn't he? He's had 4 wins in his 13 starts. Fisher has, and 2 pole positions, 4 podiums, 5 fastest laps. And a Driver of the Day to go with that. I've got to say, Storm and Fisher probably might be the favourites in terms of the Constructors this season. Well, we'll find out. It's not one on paper, is it? That's a sure fact as well. Next up, we have the American team of the Haas Racing F1 team, and in the Haas team we have Steve. Stio, of course, made his debut back in Azerbaijan of season 1. 13 starts to his name, 2 podiums. I think he's had a Driver of the Day award as well, Steve. Alongside him is Fireshot Ryan. He's had 10 starts. He's had a win. He's had a pole position as well. 2 podiums and 2 Driver of the Day awards as well. Canada season 2 was his debut as well. Next up in the team list, we have the Alfa Romeo team, and in the Alfa Romeo team we have a very impressive man who made his debut in the last couple of races last season. Is Echo. Made his debut back in USA, but Brazil is definitely where it's at, wasn't it? A cracking pole position lap from Echo. He's only had 3 starts, but he's had a pole position already, hasn't he? And a podium. So Echo, brilliant stuff indeed. So we're expecting big things from Echo this season. And alongside Echo is Jonathan Cox, that made his debut back in Brazil of Season 1 as well. And then I think a race later, well, 2 races later, he won his first race. And in total, he's had 2 race wins in ALR. He's had 2 pole positions, 9 podiums, and also he's had 2 Driver of the Day awards as well for Jonathan. So impressive stuff indeed. Next up in the driver list is the Scuderia Ferrari team. And in the Ferrari team, we have F1 Farf, made his debut back in Silverstone of Season 1. He's had 3 wins to his name in 28 starts, 8 podiums as well, fastest lap, and 2 Driver of the Day awards. Brilliant stuff. Alongside him is Stringy. It is Stringy. Yes, it is Stringy. Of course, he's had 13 starts as well. Stringy has made his debut back in France of Season 2. And he's had a fastest lap to boot as well. Then we have the Mercedes team up next, and in the Mercedes team we've got a very strong driver, haven't we? A man who really completely turned the championship on his head when he made his debut back in Azerbaijan. That is Emerson. Incredible driver since making his debut. He's had 17 starts, 5 wins. He's only 1 away from the all-time from being joint top in the all-time winner list. He's had 1 pole position, of course, a cracking lap back in Japan, 7 podiums, 2 fastest laps to boot as well. Alongside him is Laggy, of course, made his debut back in Bahrain of Season 2. He's had 18 starts to his name as well, and he's also, I think he also had, he had a Driver of the Day award as well. Up next is the Red Bull racing team. In the Red Bull, we have Young Lights as well. He made his debut back in Abu Dhabi last season. So this is so he's the most inexperienced driver on the grid, so to speak. But I got to say that he did look very experienced, a very calm, cool cucumber in terms of the race. In terms of Abu Dhabi, I think he picked up a point as well. He did indeed. And we have the returning Bilton Matt, who took a season off last season. He made his debut back in Australia in Season 1, and he's had 13 starts to his name. He's had a podium and 2 fastest up to boot as well. So very that's going to be very interesting to see what how Matt can do this season. Up next is the team that finished second to last in the constructors last time out. That is the Williams team. In the Williams team, we have 2. We have a world champion, don't we? That is Granty Boy, who won the title in Abu Dhabi in incredible style. He's had 19 starts to his name, 3 wins, 1 pole position, 8 podiums, 4 fastest laps, and 6 Driver of the Day awards. Towards the beginning of last season, he was coming from the back quite often, wasn't he? But hopefully he could start more at the front this time. Of course, he started off his career in ALR with the Williams team, didn't he, before going to the Renault after 2 races. So it seems like it's full circle, isn't it, for Granty? Alongside Granty is Roscoe. He made a debut back in Belgium. He's had 6 starts to his name, Roscoe has as well, and hoping to build upon his success. He has had 12 points so far he has scored in his career. And last and no means least, it is the McLaren team. And in the McLaren team, we have Mr. Lee and Sam. Mr. Lee, of course, he's been around the block, hasn't he? He's Spain Season 1 was his debut. 14 starts to his name. He's had 134 points he's accumulated in his career, and he had a podium as well. So Mr. Elite there, a very good driver, especially he's a wet weather specialist, isn't he? And finally, last but no means least, is Sam. He's had 15 starts in his career. He made his debut in one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar. That was in Monaco of Season 2, and since then he has really come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he, Sam? So I'm expecting good things there from Sam this season, and all 19 other drivers. Absolutely, that's a cracking field, isn't it? That is. And now then, as I get ready to go into the lobby, I think we've also got some guys that will be jumping into the party in just a few moments as I quickly jump into the session itself. So bear with me a minute. Whilst that's going on, let's take a look at the comments, shall we? Because my goodness, you guys are really up for this tonight, as am I as well. Of course, the calendar has also changed slightly tonight, and we'll go through that around qualifying in a bit. So yeah, Kyle, of course, Kyle Hunter, the man who won the first ever ALR race. Good luck. See you all on track tomorrow. Twang saying, let's go. Thanks for telling me my DNFs. Yep. I thought I'd get that in there, Twang. Laggy saying, hello, Sean. New season. Let's start good. We're qualifying, man. I'm thrilled. We've also got Brandon saying, good evening, Sean. Jonathan Cox, good evening, Sean. Good luck to all the drivers tonight. Echo, good evening. Good evening, Echo. We got Gamer as well, who's also just saying, good luck, guys. Of course, Gamer are part of the Silver League of this season. Guarantee the champion saying, good evening, Sean. Hope you're all well. And I'll catch up with all the rest of you guys in just a few minutes because we've got some drivers that have gate crashed my party. Hello guys, hope you're all well tonight. Let's go to the let's go to the man who won the championship last season, Granty. How are you feeling for tonight and for the season in general, more importantly?
Oh mate, it's going to be absolutely exciting. Definitely a few new drivers that I know they've got a good expectation for going for the Drivers' Championship as well, so it's going to be a lot of pressure on myself, but yeah, no, looking forward to it.
Got a quick question for a man who doesn't really know how to turn left and right. The new Williams, how is it handling? Is it handling better than the Renault, or is it all exactly the same and it's just me not knowing what I'm doing?
I don't know. I think the steering wheel is more putting off, to be honest. I don't really sort of like it, but I wish I stayed in Renault because I do find that car very nice and stable. But yeah, no, I'll see how the Williams go. As you said, I did start in it, so hopefully I can finish it this season and yeah, pick up good points.
Oh, really looking forward to that as well. Of course, you've got 3 wins in total last season. You only had 1 pole position. I think qualifying was your Achilles heel last season, albeit your racecraft is absolutely second to none. Have you been trying to improve on qualifying, or do you not need to worry about that because points is all in the race, isn't it?
Well, yeah, this is it. Like, you know, points are on the race. It all depends on how the race goes as well. It could end very well for myself or end drastically. So it's a 50-50 situation, but I would like to pick up on my qualifying because that does matter a lot for first turn and for the rest of the race.
Excellent stuff. And one more question before you jump in your car and what's going to surely be an absolutely exciting race. Who is your main championship rival this season? Is it Emerson again, or have you got a few other guys you're keeping your eye on?
Yeah, I definitely got a few other guys to keep an eye on, to be honest. Twango did an excellent job at the last when he did come back, so I'll be looking out for him. Jonathan Cox, I think Murphy, Fisher. So yeah, there's definitely a few up there that I'm going to be sort of keeping an eye on. And obviously, of course, ever since he did finish second, so yeah, looking out for them.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Granty. I might talk to you later after the race, depending on how well it goes.
Well, I might retire and speak to you during the race.
Oh, I'm sure you don't want that one. You don't want to hit me in your ear for the race. My goodness, that's not a good way to start the race.
No, not at all. Thank you very much, Sean. Appreciate this.
No worries. Cheers, buddy. See you later on. And
yeah, see you later, bud.
No worries. And next we have in the party is Sam, and of course we was speaking about the driver lineup, weren't we? As we was going through it, Sam made his debut back in Monaco season 2. Sam, how are you feeling on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? Well, evening now. Lost for words. Don't worry, so am I. We'll come back to Sam in just a few moments. I think the other person in the group is Twang. Of course, my co-commentator back in Bahrain at season 1. My goodness, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Twang, how's it going?
Everything good as always. I'm a bit skeptical for this race because I'm not that good at Russia, but I'll try to give it a go at least.
It was interesting to hear Granty's touting you is one of the guys that might is coming along to take his crown tonight. Take his crown over the season. Yeah, I've got to say though that your stats do show that you are a very solid performer, and hopefully if you get a full season under your belt, you might be there or thereabouts come the final race in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I'd like to hope that I can do something with him, but at the same time, life does happen, so.
Indeed,
we'll see. We'll see. It's. I think Granty will be really strong this season as well, so I'm looking forward to it at least.
You are in the winning constructor car of the Renault team as well, and going through that lineup, you and Dan Murphy, it's got to be one of the strongest lineups on the grid this season. Constructors may not be very important for like the drivers, but for me, I love it. But in terms of constructors, you feeling that you're the most strongest team out there?
Well, I hope so. I'll hope. I mean, there's a reason that we're in the Renault and that we're chosen in the Renault, because last season the constructors were won by Renault, so I'll hope to make that too.
Excellent stuff. Good luck, Twang, tonight, and yeah, all the best. I think you had a very strong opener last season in season 2. So onwards and upwards, hopefully. And I'll see. Well, hopefully, depending if your race goes well, I might talk to you in a bit.
Yeah, hopefully.
See you in a bit, mate. And of course, I think we got one more in the. I must admit, I should have read my pre-race notes, shouldn't I? Really, I think we got Sam in the party as well. Sam, hopefully you can hear me now. To be honest, I wouldn't take it offensively at all if you don't want to listen to me, because I don't want to listen to myself. How's it going now? Are you feeling good for this new season? No, I don't think he is, unfortunately. Well, to be honest, so but I think things will be have an absolutely cracking of a season, Samuel. Whilst well, we're going to get onto the track. We're going to get onto the track layout. We've got a new calendar this season, which is fairly interesting. It's all mixing and match now. Of course, we followed the official Formula One calendars, haven't we, for the past 2 seasons? This season we decided to shake things up, haven't we, and make it a bit more interesting. So we're starting off in Russia for round 1 here tonight, and I got to say, Russia as a Formula One track, in terms of watching it on TV, is probably not the best way to start it. But in league racing, this is the perfect way to start it, isn't it? We always have action around here. It's a cracking old race as well, isn't it? Of course, I say old race, it's only been on the calendar since 2014. So we are here in Sochi, the Winter Olympic Park. 18 turns around here, 3.6 miles long, and the lap record is held by Valtteri Bottas. That's it. Well, in the official Formula One stats, but I think in terms of actual stats, I'm sure that it's Fireshot that's got the lap record. Possibly. I think he is actually. In terms of the no, then it's Fisher with the lap record of 1:33.905, which was set last season. We've only ever had one other race around here, which is actually season 2. Season 1 we skipped it, didn't we? In the end, it tried to condense it all into like was it a Super League weekend kind of thing, where we had action all the way through, 2 races in one night. I don't think we were doing that again in a long time. Last season, the pole sitter was actually Fireshot. He did a 1:31.669, which is a mighty old time. Unfortunately, didn't go too well in the race, did it? The strategy just didn't help him at all, did it? Unfortunately for Fireshot, and he called it a day quite early on. And of course, Fisher did win this race, and also set the fastest lap as well. So Fisher has got to be. Well, I'd say he's in the. He's definitely in for a shout of really taking this championship by the scruff of his neck, isn't he? Anyway, let's take a quick look at the comments. I've really struggled with the comments to keep up with at the moment. Blimey, you guys are very talkative tonight, and that's what I need, to be honest. I need you guys to keep me on my toes, because I just stray off into all sorts of directions sometimes. So Glock, then, evening all. I hope you're hoping for a great race to watch, and even better when tomorrow. Of course, Glock is in silver, isn't he? Tomorrow, silver, the brand new league of ALR. It's going to be fantastic, guys. Tomorrow, I've got to say, Mondays is never usually a good day for me. It is now. We've also got Nigel, the first ever season 1, the first ever ALR champion, back in season 1. Of course, he won in Abu Dhabi with a race to go. Grant, he also won his championship in Abu Dhabi, but that was on the final race. New season, new helmet for Nigel. I do love a good helmet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that in just a few moments. We got Gamer saying that see you tomorrow, Glock. Of course, Gamer he did race in a couple of races for us last season. A very good driver as well. Look forward to seeing him full time in silver in the not too distant future. So I'll just quickly make sure I'm in spectate. I am indeed. Good. We've also got Storm saying Glock, what tier are you in? I think Glock's in silver. We got Fireshot Short Meeker gang. Yep, Fireshot knows my name after our World Cup escapades there. Oh dear. We haven't even passed the watershed yet. We've also just taken a look down there. Is Fireshot loves my name now. We've also got Bro Grilla saying good evening, Sean. Hope you're okay, mate. I'm always okay. Thanks, Bro Grilla. Hope you enjoy this presentation of the Russian Grand Prix. And of course, we've also got Gamer saying nice to hear that you can ride as a reserve driver this evening. Also, we've got yep. I think we're all ready to go then. And there's a lot of chatter going on about silver, and I'll leave that there because yeah, I'm not very good at the reading side of things. It takes me half an hour to figure out what's all going on then. Yeah, so as we still have a 21 race calendar, but it's all been mixed up now as well. So Russia is round 1, round 2. We'll go to China before going to Monaco. Round 3. I think a lot of drivers would love to have that track out the way because I've got to say it's pretty it's very dicey indeed. Belgium is will be the first European race of the season. You might say Russia's European possibly, but Belgium's the first European race of the season and the more traditional race, and that's round 4 before we head to Silverstone and Hungary. Then we return to Australia for round 7. Or the calendar can be is on the Facebook page where you can see the dates and also and also a bit of history about that track in terms of the ALR. In terms of the ALR journey, which is good stuff indeed. Of course, Russia. This is only the second time running of Russia in the ALR's history, and it was a bit of a doozy, wasn't it? Of course, Fischer did run off in high, didn't he? This was the I think his second race win of his career, wasn't it, for Fischer? Of course, he won in Singapore, I think, the week before. He ran off in high, hitting that one as well, and then this one he had 2 wins on the trot there, and really was showing domination. It was pretty scary, I got to say, from Fischer's point of view. Well, no, from our point of view, Fischer was absolutely loving it, wasn't he? Didn't see much of anyone in those 2 races, and so yeah, I think he'll be open for the same again. And of course, then everyone is starting off on a new slate now. All points is at 0. So this is the most exciting time of the year, isn't it? Apart from March the 15th as well, where I'm sure all of you guys will be getting up early in the morning to watch the Australian Grand Prix. And of course, we got to mention there that over in Australia, of course, all the wildfires and all that kind of stuff going on, awful stuff as well. So yeah, hope from everyone from ALR. I hope it all goes as well as it can do. It's very difficult times out there, isn't it? Over in the land down under. Just taking a quick look. We've also got some. We've already got some guys going for team whoever it is, and we got to Echo saying me and Jono will win the constructors. I gotta say, that's a very good shout, that is. Of course, the Alpha Romeo team is a cracker of a team, isn't it? Brilliant. We got Glock saying Monaco round 3. Oh god, no points for me there. So I think Glock's feeling very happy about that. We got M7 Movies Team Twan, Broke Gorilla saying Team John, and of course Broke Gorilla also saying on board I need a race. So we are now ready to get going then, and let me just make sure that yep, I'm all good to go. It's great to have you all along with us tonight, and I got to say, it's incredible how many of you are watching me at the moment. I'm feeling a bit nervous, because I actually have to act a bit professional, which is never a good thing, and I start to make big words up which I don't even know what the meanings are. We are in qualifying 1. This is Q1 then of season 3 of ALR, and this is the Gold League. This is, and we have got a couple of reserves in here as well, which is great to see. And so the time is ticked down, and in terms of the rules and things like that, they are still the same. Q1, Q2, Q3. 18 minutes for Q1, 15 minutes for Q2, 12 minutes for Q3. We're going to be dropping 3 drivers in this session then, of course. So 16th, 17th and 18th is who we're going to be losing here, and as you can tell, they're all keen to get the season started, aren't they? There's a queue, or a lack of a queue. So we're 20 minutes, well, we're now 45 seconds into this session then, on this beautiful Sochi track. I've got to say, personally, to drive this track, I'm not really a fan of it as well. It's a bit, you see the track layout, and it does look a bit boring, don't it, really? I mean, apart from the incredible turn 3, there's not really much to write home about, is there? But I got to say, the league racing point of view, it's produced some incredible races. In the actual world of Formula 1, I don't think it's produced many races at all, has it? It's been, I think the only thing I can remember from the actual Russian Grand Prix is Grosjean on a big old smash at turn 3. That was a vile old accident, wasn't it? Bottas being told to let Hamilton through. I think it was 2018. Yeah, not much else. Oh, Bottas also won his first race, didn't he? Which was also a cracker in of itself. Yeah, so as we are just waiting for our first car to come on track, Laggy Racer has retired because he started off the season with a qualifying ban. Dan Murphy has joined. I'm not sure what Dan's been doing. I think he's just I don't know, probably enjoying the sights and sounds of wherever he lives, which he has told me a couple of times, and I pay a lot of attention. Anyway, enough about that. Of course, Dan is also he had a birthday not so long ago, has he? So he's officially a grown up now, isn't he, as well? So I wonder if that maturity is going to pay dividends on track. He did a fantastic season last season. I've got to say, a very impressive season indeed. I think he finished 4th in the end in the drivers' championship. He could have finished a lot higher as well, but unfortunately, himself and Emerson came together. He also had a crash in Brazil as well, didn't he, Dan? So it wasn't the most happiest of endings of his season, but hopefully the season be a lot better. Just watching Echo, I got to say, an incredible 3 races Echo's had. He's been a great addition to the ALR scene. He's been incredible, hasn't he? A pole position in Brazil, I got to say, that's one of my favourite laps of the season. I was absolutely loving that lap, and it's something that you could relive and should relive. and you can relive it on the ALR channel. Of course, just go back to Brazil Season 2. Anyway, but of course, though, I would suggest you watch that after this race, as this is Russia, this is round 1, this is gold, this is Season 3, and Echo is going to start us. Is going to start a flying lap now. Then, so we're aiming to lose 2 cars in this session, as well, Murphy's starting right from the back. Then, unfortunately, because he joined late, and Sam has been disqualified from the session for driving the wrong way. Then there he is, and that's a big blow. And we've got a retirement as well for Twang. It's all gone wrong here in qualifying. That's a terrible start for Sam. Then, as unfortunately did interview him, but I don't think he could hear me, or refused not to speak to me. Well, he's definitely not going to be speaking to me at the moment. Then is he? He's out of qualifying already in this session, and Sam has left the session, and that is not good at all. Then here in Russia, and also we've lost Twang as well. Twang is out of the session as well. So it's gone appallingly badly, hasn't it? As we are now, I think that this qualifying session has turned more into a practice session, hasn't it? Yellow flag in sector 1, and no, that's not good, is it? That's not good at all, is it? Echo, I think, will be the first man to post a time. Just taking a quick look at the commentary, Broke Grit saying, you're the legendary commentator. Well, thanks, Broke. Of course, obviously, I always read out the positive comments, because, you know, I have to. And also, we've got... we have got John Cox, my Ted Kravitz, who is saying it is a dry race, dry quality as it stands. Definitely dry race. And I know, of course, like he also going, I'm not last. No, unfortunately, who's last is going to be Sam. Hopefully, he can go back in the session in a bit. But that is not a good start at all for Sam, is it? Again, disqualified for driving the wrong way in the pit lane. That's a huge no-no, is it? I think that's probably one of the worst rules you can break in Formula 1, isn't it? Echo, they're coming through the final turn, and Echo is the first one to post a time, and there's a 32.8 at the moment for Echo then. So we're some way off the qualifying pace from last season at the moment. But remember, the track hasn't rubbered in yet. It's I think it's usually around Q3 where it starts to really ramp up, doesn't it? Echo just getting out of the way then. Mr. Elite then in his new surroundings. It's very odd to see some of the drivers driving different cars. I don't know, because I do associate Mr. Elite with the Alfa Romeo. Here comes Storm then. Of course, Storm that's a very strong Toro Rosso team, isn't it? Storm and Fisher, that's an incredible team. Well, it's weird to see Fisher in the it's weird to see Fisher in the Toro Rosso as well, isn't it? Just watching it. Gamer then, who is as part of silver and also part of the gold here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on Gamer's progress, because it's a bit of a practice run ready for silver in the beginning. And of course, as Gamer come back into pits, and Matt is just gone at second fastest as he makes his return to ALR after a season out then. So Matt there is second currently on a 33.4 then, and I think that was just a warm-up lap just to get himself in the rhythm, so to speak, isn't it? Storm's on the hard tyres at the moment. He's the only man on hard tyres. The tyre allocation for this season, similar as last season, so it's soft, medium and hard tires, so no ultra soft, super soft, hyper soft, whatever else we got. Super hard we had as well, didn't we? Which was a funny old tire name, wasn't it? Mr. Elite ain't gonna be interested at all about tires at the moment. All he's gonna be interested in is a lap time around here. Here he comes around the final turn then, Mr. Elite, one of our better wet weather specialists, and he's done a 33.566 at the moment. The weather I don't think is going to cause any issues so far. Storm has done a 35.4 on the hard tire then, so Storm can go. Storm has got a lot more time in the bank, hasn't he? Here comes Gunnar, who is gone from McLaren to Racing Point this season, and he has gone into a 33.7 there from the Irishman then. Of course, the most successful, well, he can be the most successful driver, he can potentially if he has a good season, but he's definitely the most experienced driver on the grid in ALR. I think 35 starts, is it, for Gunnar? It is indeed. This will be his 36th start here tonight. That's an incredible amount of time, because he's been with us almost since the get-go. So it's great commitment there from the Irishman. Yellow flag in 1. I think it's just guys just getting out of the way at the moment then. So as we're on board with new F1, as he is replacing Stringy, who is not here tonight. So Brandon, of course, last time we seen Brandon, he won a race, didn't he? He won the race in Abu Dhabi. It was great teamwork, wasn't it, from Granty and Brandon? It was the best bit of teamwork, in the the whole season for me. It was cracking stuff, and it was a great way to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I think Renault already won the constructors, didn't they? I think they run it the race before, so Brandon a very strong race that was. Of course, he's driving the Ferrari then, so he's in place for Stringy this season. Brandon is, so let's see what he can do then, and hopefully get himself off to a strong start. Unfortunately, one man who hasn't got off to a strong start at all is Twang, as Movies has just asked what's happened, Twang. he wants to stay in the comms for a bit longer. So yeah, no, I think Twang was just was enjoying himself up here, wasn't he? Here comes our champion. Here he is, the world champion, the man with 3 wins last season and a pole position. I gotta say, he had a 6 driver of the days. Was incredible, wasn't it, from Granty boy. Driving the Williams, of course, he drove the Williams this time last season as well in season 1 before jumping to the Renault team. And Sid said his season didn't get off to a very good start for Grant, did he? He found himself in a couple of first lap incidents and unfortunately was struggling to, well, he was getting some points, wasn't he? But it wasn't the most protective of starts, was it, for Granty in his first couple of starts. On board Fireshot, then Fireshot remains with the Haas team this season. Car 66 Fireshot is, and he is now coming down the back straight now. DRS enabled. He did have pole position, didn't he, last time he was here? So he is the only man to sit on pole position as it stands, and he has to be having a good shout, doesn't he, Fireshot? Of course, I think Fireshot finished just outside the top 10 in terms of the drivers at the end of last season, didn't he? But he does have the pace, doesn't he? Just needs a bit of consistency in that in his armory, and he would be definitely a championship contender. But you look up and down that field of drivers, and you could potentially see a lot of them be in terms of championship contenders, can you? Echo showed his championship caliber, didn't he? In Brazil, didn't he? Matt, of course, in his first season, Fireshot goes fast on the 32.3 at the moment in the Haas. Very good time indeed from Fireshot. Brandon is on the back straight at the moment. We've also got Jonathan, who's just completing the lap. Then we've got this turn 17 and 18 now. Then a couple of right angle corners. Not the most exciting corners, is it, in Formula 1? Comes around. Jonathan goes faster. So Jonathan 32-2 there, laying the gauntlet out there to Fireshot. Then of course Jonathan really come good in the second half of last season. So I wonder. So can he have a season's worth of? Strong races on board with Emerson at the moment. Emerson, here he is, the man who finished second last season, and I gotta say, we've seen, I think, season practice, wasn't he? A couple of, was it last weekend or the weekend before? I don't know, but I gotta say, that's a very impressive helmet, isn't it? I did mention it, and I do like, as I said earlier, I do love a good helmet. We have just seen Gamer go up into 7th position mode in the Red Bull. So Red Bull at the moment, he is driving in place of Young Lights, who Young Lights is not racing tonight, unfortunately, which is a shame now, because I think Young Lights was looking forward to this, but it hasn't gone well. Grant here has gone fastest on a 32.225 then, and look at that, look at those suspects at the top there. Granty, Jonathan, Fireshot, Echo in there as well, and Matt. This is looking tasty indeed. Not as tasty as Emerson's lap, though. That's a cracking lap, isn't it? 31.6 there from Emerson in the Mercedes. Roscoe out on track then, the Scotsman in the Williams. Then we've got Steve as well, who's taking a casual approach then to the Russian Grand Prix. Here is Brandon then, as he is now on the back straight. There's 2 DRS straights around here. There's one in between turn 1 and 2. You know, turn 1's more of a kink, isn't it, really? And then of course we've got one down this back straight here, isn't it? Feels a bit like Valencia, doesn't it? This track does. This Russian track does. I'm not. I might going to spark a bit of debate here possibly, but I think between Valencia and Russia, I probably do prefer Valencia. Really, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I've got to say, I'm trying to think of what's the most enjoyable part of Valencia. Possibly the final sector, where he was threading through the eye of the needle, weren't you, in the final sector? Brandon is coming through the final turn now, and he goes at 5th fast mode in the Ferrari. His teammate Farf is still chilling out in the pits at the moment. Gamer there is 10th as it stands. Here comes Nigel, the first ever champion of ALR. So Nigel, hopefully, can he reclaim the crown? Then he missed the first couple of races last season, didn't he? He returned in Azerbaijan, and it didn't go too well for him, did it, back then? Now he is driving the racing points, isn't it? So Nigel, got to get used to him now being in the race points. Salmon's rejoined us after having a bit of a difficult start to his season 3, and I think that was a car on the outside there. I was looking at the comments there. My apologies. As we're just watching the movie, said I turned the race on in the living room in front of the family. No pressure, Twang. Oh gosh. So yeah, all eyes is going to be on Twang tonight, aren't they? Well, unfortunately, Twang is well, he hasn't gone very far. So Twang at the moment is out of qualifying, and we won't see him till the race now. Nigel is 6th fastest at the moment in the racing point. That's the team that Twang used to be a part of. Roscoe is in at 9th position as it stands. We've got 5 minutes to go in this session. Storm is out there. He's found some decent time, hasn't he? As he's now on the hard tire as well. Farf is on track, and Steve is back in the pits. Then we're going board with Storm at the moment. I've also got Chucky. Good luck for the start of your season. Of course, Chucky did race in a couple of races last time. He returned to Mexico because Chucky was also a part of season 1. Lovely shot there from Storm. Yeah, Chucky did race in a couple of races back in the first season, didn't he? And then he returned in Mexico towards the end of last season. Here's a man who also raced in a couple of races first season, but he did get pole position, didn't he? I'm sure it was in Australia or Britain. I think it might have been Britain actually, but Storm now trying to find his feet towards the end of last season. This season, I'm wondering. He might be a dark horse, won't he, Storm is, because he shows flashes of brilliance, don't he? And the Toro Rosso team is a very strong outfit as well. And I think we're actually missing. To be honest, I think really should be a bit more on the toes, but I think we're missing. Unfortunately, we're missing Fisher for the start of the season, which is a bit disappointing. So so we've only got one Toro Rosso in the field as well. That's a bit of a shame. Here's the sole representative of the Toro Rosso team as he flicks it through turn 50 to 16. Now there's a short straight into turn 17. Look at the fuel light flashing. There's a racing point in the background. I think that's Nigel just recovering. Storm comes through the final turn now, and let's see what he's doing. This is a more representative time. He goes second fast at the moment. Emerson's the only man into the 31s. While into the 31s as well, Emerson is at 31.6 at the moment. Impressive time as well. Steve's back out on track at the moment. Far fed over the shoulder shot with Farf at the moment as going under the bridge then, and now he's coming down to the final section. Now it resembles a bit of a street circuit, doesn't it? An American street circuit, 90 degree left, 90 degree right, slightly off, slightly negative camber there, isn't it, on turn 15. Now into 17, you can see there's the pit lane there. Oh, did he invalidate his time now? That's very cutting the corner then. This is the final corner for Farf. Now Finn is a bit of a scrappy lap for Farf, and he's going to have to go again. So we're on board then with Farf, the man who won 3 races in his ALR career. He won 2 races last season, didn't he, in Australia and Bahrain. He was I gotta say, last season he was looking very much a very strong very strong as well, and he was in the championship fight right into the final couple of races there before all fell apart, unfortunately for Farf. But hopefully the season will be more consistent. And of course there's a couple of races where he should have scored harder than what he did. I think Belgium comes to mind, where he was really flying out there as well. So we're coming through to complete the first set, and the first 3-1 is the first time now for Farf. Just under 3 minutes to go here for the Ferrari driver, and now then as you can see the sun glaring into his eyes then, but the driver shouldn't be affected by that. You can see the fuel light is flashing as well. Oh, you can see then a bit of understeer of the car was skating off. It didn't want to turn in there, did it? Now we're coming into the back straight then. And now accelerating with the acceleration zone, looking very good for Farfar. Not getting very tail happy at all, is he? And now down the back straight, anything but straight. Then you can see, look at it, curving slightly to the right. Then before we come in slightly to the left, then Carlos Sights on a big old smash there in 2015. Then dropping down a couple of gears. Storm is retired from the session. He is happy with that qualifying time. I think that Steve just needs to get a time in as well, and he is sorted as well. As unfortunately we have lost a couple of drivers already in this session, and it hasn't been the most impressive start, has it, for a couple of drivers? Farfar coming into the front turn now. We've got yellow flags fluttering in the wind. Then here comes Farfar. He comes across the line and he goes 5th fastest for the Ferrari driver. Good time for Farf. And that was 2 laps on those soft compound tires. Here comes Steve with a lovely pink and white helmet there. That's a lovely colour combination, isn't it, from Steve? And now we're on board with the black and gold Haas and into the final turn now. Turn 18. There's 18 turns around this circuit, and Steve goes at 12 fast at the moment. Very close to his good friend Roscoe there. Look at that, 100th of a second separates the 2 drivers as well. Very tasty indeed. And then we've got Mr. Elite there, who's just sitting in 13th position, not too far back at all. Then we have lost in this session Twang, who's out. Unfortunately, he didn't make it around to set a time, unfortunately for Twang, in his new Renault outfit team now, so that's a bit disappointed. Laggy, of course, got a qualifying ban in the Mercedes, but he will not be finishing, he will not be starting last. Sam got disqualified in the pits for pointing the wrong way, and also we've got Murphy, who is 19th, who did not make it in time in the session, as I think he was doing his hair. So that is the end of qualifying 1 then. So a bit of an anticlimactic start to the ALR season, but don't worry, I think we had an anticlimactic start in the qualifying 1 in Australia last time out. So don't worry about that. Things, and judging from last season, we had a thriller of a climax, didn't we, in Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately, Emerson did make it very difficult for himself when he had a bit of a problem then. And we have, as we've also got Farshot saying, I'm also wearing a new helmet for Season 3 as well. Excellent stuff, Ben. Of course, if anyone wants me to point out their new helmets, then I'm more than happy to do so. I got to say, can't see Farshot's helmet at the moment, as he is in the pits at the moment, just chilling out. So we're now just a couple of seconds away from the end of Q1 then. So we have lined up 16th, 17th, 18th and 19th, and Murphy starting 19th, 18th is Sam, 17th is Laggy, and Twang is in 16th position. Gamer is just out on track at the moment, and I think he's just getting a bit more practice, and of course he was called up very late on in the day for Young Lights, and of course Young Lights has only had a race start behind him. Gamer, let's just take a look at Gamer stats then whilst we wait for the time to tick down. Of course, Gamer made his debut back in Singapore, didn't he? He had a very strong qualifying session, didn't he, in Singapore? Gamer did. Unfortunately, him and Laggy did come together, didn't he, in the final corner when Gamer did get a bit tail happy in his car. But of course, he's had 5 starts. Gamer has, hasn't he? And he's accumulated 7 points. So he's been a fairly he's been very good to begin his ALR career, but I think that this is where he's going to really kick off, isn't he? You can see them. So the checkered flag is fluttering. We're just saying it's Jonathan there. No, and Jonathan. You can see I'm still a season beyond him. Jonathan did used to drive the Pink Panther. Now he is driving the Alfa Romeo, I think he is. As you can tell, I'm still getting used to the new cars and all that kind of jazz. On board them with Gamer, and of course Red Bull were the former constructors champions, weren't they, from season 1? Of course, Red Bull, remember, had Jochen, didn't they, for the first 7 races? An incredible driver, wasn't he, Jochen? And he won 6 of his first 7 races. Jochen did, very impressive. Sorry, I think 5 of the first 7 races he won. And then, of course, Nigel took over as well. They just elevated the team to new heights, and he won 6 races. Red Bull was absolutely dominating. Was it 11 wins in the first season? Brilliant stuff. Unfortunately, the second season wasn't too good, was it, for Red Bull's point of view? And they only had 2 wins, which was Farf, wasn't it? Farf had a cracking start to the season, and then Red Bull just unfortunately nosedived, didn't they? They really struggled towards the second half. Really struggled throughout the course of the season. Which they dropped from. They were still in the top 3, wasn't they? With about 5 races to go, and then they just dropped like a stone, didn't they? And unfortunately, that's why they finished 8th in the constructors last season. And as Gamer there is just completing his lap now. Jonathan's also completed his lap as well. So just watching Gamer then. So all eyes is on the Belgian driver as he comes through the final turn then. Let's see what he can do. Can he improve? He improves to 14th at the moment, Gamer does, in the Red Bull then. So that's the end of qualifying 1 then. And really, we kind of knew who was getting knocked out after, well, I think after a couple of minutes, really. I'm just taking a look down at the bottom of the table. We got Sam, we got disqualified, so we got our first disqualifications of the season, and then we've got Laggy in 70th position. He's got a qualifying ban, and Twang, who well didn't make it around to settle up, unfortunately for Twang. And of course, remember, Twang had a very good start to the season, didn't he? He in his first 5 races of the last season for Twang, he was there or thereabouts. He was scoring podiums, he was scoring very decent points as well. I think Spain was his last race, where he had an almighty clatter into the wall, didn't he, coming out of the fast turn 9. And unfortunately, that was the last time we was going to see Twang, right up until when he made his return. I think it was around 15 or 16, something like that. He got a very strong end to the season, which I think elevated Racing Point, along with him and Jonathan Cox. It was a very good, very strong driver lineup, and they elevated the Racing Point up into 2nd in the constructors. Right, so qualifying 2, and we are now 15 minutes. Well, this is the 15 minutes of the second session now, and as the time is now started to creep down, then who is going to be knocked out of qualifying 2? Then we are lining up 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 5th, and 15th in this session, and it's going to be all about the tires and who's going to do what. Then Echo coming out of the pits, and he is flying out on the medium compound tire. His teammate Jonathan Cox is usually the one, the first man out. Then Car 25, the British Italian driver who finished third in the championship in the end. Last season, his second half of the season was incredible, wasn't it? He was really incredible, and hopefully he just needs to keep that consistency all the way through the season now. And we're on board as the Alfa Romeos, and are both out straight away, and they're really trying to get on with it, and they, of course, the through turn 3, then that's an incredible corner, isn't it? Turn 3 is, I think, it's the signature corner on this track. What's the rest of it? We're kind of just 90 degrees left and 90 degrees right, so it's I would say talking to drivers, it's probably not the most interesting race to drive on, is it? most interesting race to drive on. Really, it's not the most exciting track in the world, is it? But I've got to say, for a league race for you, it's a cracking race to start the league, isn't it? I've got to get used to it not being an official calendar though, so that's going to throw me, I think, throughout this season. And then with Jonathan there is just there. He's on the warm-up lap. He's on the medium compound tire. Why is he on the medium compound tire, I hear you ask? Well, you're probably not asking that at all, because I know all of you are much more educated than I am. But he's on the medium compound tire. For anyone who is new and watching this incredible sport, this incredible league, it is the he's on the medium tire because if you qualify in the top 10, you must start on that exact tire which you set your fastest time on as well. So you have to have a good time, but you also have to look after these tires as well. You cannot go locking up, cannot wheel spin them. You want them in good nick, don't you? For the race start around here. Tires around here, I wouldn't say it's the most. The track isn't too abrasive around here, so it's not really going to cause too much difficulty with tire wear. But then again, I have been wrong before, haven't I? Of course. Talking of which, I remember Fireshot who. It seemed his tires just fell off a cliff, didn't they? Really, in the race, didn't they? And it really cost him victory, and that allowed Fisher just to walk away with it. Of course, we're going to have a first-time winner. It was Jonathan there, really, and he's invalidated his time. Jonathan has. How do we know that? Because because it looked like he went over the white line anyway. But it was not only that then. He turned the Urs right down completely. Then we're on board with Echo now. Of course, Echo has a pole position to his career already. 3 races in, and he's already got a pole position, isn't he? That's the caliber of the man, isn't it? Here he is, car 24. His teammate is car 25. So that's a nice. That's nice and near each other, isn't it? Oh, I like that. Echo then, as he's just come through to complete the first section now then. Yellow flags are floating around. I think it's just for Jonathan there, just getting out of the way then. So he's invalidated his time, and unfortunately he's going to have to go around and preserve his tires or come back in and get a new set of boots on. On board with Echo then, as he is, getting a bit floaty there, Echo was. Remember, Sam had a big old smash there as well, didn't he? Last season, Sam did. And Emerson went ploughed into the side of him, and Emerson's Haas, they must make him strong over in America, because that Haas, I don't think sustained much damage at all. I thought the front right-hand corner should have at least been ripped off the car, but no, it was all sturdy. So I've got to say they got some strong old materials over in America, haven't they? Echo then is in the Alfa Romeo then. Of course, then the Swiss team from the Swiss team now, of course, formerly known as the Sauber team. Back in '93, they made their debut. Sauber did, and they've been in all kinds of disguises in Formula 1, haven't they? We'll talk about that again in a minute, because Echo goes fast. It's on the 33.8. Then Storm is second on the 33.9 at the moment. Then so Echo very showing that he likes mixing it up there with the top runners. And Jonathan there just trying to get himself sorted. Here comes Matt then, who's in the middle sector as well. Here comes Gamer then. Gamer then is looking from the pace there. He might struggle to get out of qualifying 2 here, but he might prove me wrong. He's on the 35 there for Gamer has. What about his teammate? Here's Matt then. Matt and Gunnar are in the same facility there, because you've seen a flash of pink there. That was Gunnar's nose then, as he was just coming through. Matt is coming into the pits then. Of course, Matt there making a return back to ALR after a season out. It's great to see Matt's name back on the timing charts, isn't it? And into the pits, and you can see we're dropping down then to 50 kilometers around this pit lane, isn't it? It's a nasty old pit lane as well, isn't it? So I think then that's going to have a bit of a lot then, so I'm not going to go up on the time for some reason. So Echo at the moment, we've only had 3 times on the board then. We've been in the session for 5 minutes now, and and we've only had 3 times there on the board. Fire shot is just saying then, Strong, my car fell apart after one small touch there. So well, it certainly wasn't strong for Fire shot, was it? But I got to say, Emerson's car was built like well, it was built quite strong, really. As Echo is there, just come back to the pits, and you see he's going very slow here. He's nursing his tyres, isn't it? It's a bit of a tyre formula at the boat, isn't it? Engine formula and also a tyre formula, isn't it? As you rely quite heavily on the tyres, so to speak. Not as bad as what it once was. If anyone remembers the 2013 season, where they had 5 stops in Spain. 5 stops is way too many for Grand Prix distance, isn't it? I mean, you don't know whether you're coming or going, really. So not. I do like tyres being the grade and things like that, because it adds a bit of a strategy element to the race. But I think 5 tyre stops is kind of ridiculous, really, isn't it? Emerson come back in the pits, and you can see we've got a lot of cars out on track at the moment, but they're kind of baiting us into what's actually going on at the moment. So just watching Steve, who is just on track, and we got Mr. Elite, who is starting his time now. Then and Mr. Elite in the McLaren then, and he flies through turn 1, has a bit of a flick there. there, and then before going to turn 2, I think this is the longest run from the start down into a breaking point, and down into a breaking point. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be good, isn't it? Hopefully we won't have any major incidents, but I can't promise you anything, can we? We've had some horrendous crashes in going into turn 2, not just on league race, but also in career mode as well. And remember, that's driven by AI drivers, and they struggle as well. So add a bit of human element into it, and it makes it a lot more interesting, doesn't it? Favre is on the hard compound tire at the moment, and so is Brandon. His teammates on the medium tire. So Ferrari just splitting their strategy slightly. 8 minutes to go in this session, as you can see, time is definitely very much the enemy in qualifying, isn't it? Mr. Leader leaving a lot of time on the table there, as he was flicking it through the left-hander there, and now then as he comes down the back straight, DRS is enabled. There's a Ferrari just flicking in the background as well. I think that is Brandon. It is Brandon, so he might pick up a slipstream. Well, I think he's just inside the slipstream window there. Now breaking down then into this very tricky chicane, then accelerating out of it. Now then we have got turn 15 in front of us. We do have turn 15 in front of us. Here it is, a bit off camber. It's very I don't know what I'm saying now at all. Out of turn 16, then you can see the fuel light is flashing. Mr. Elite is as light as a feather. He comes through turn 17 now. Oh, there's the car there being a bit not as direct as Mr. Elite would like, but he doesn't mind because he's in 8th first position at the moment. I should say Brandon goes for 33.6 at the moment. That's a good time there from Brandon. Very good time indeed there for the Ferrari driver. Good stuff indeed. Farfar covering the final corner now, and he goes on a 34.2 there, trying to see if we can get away with not going on the hard tires. So it'll be interesting to see if that strategy works. And Matt is still on track as well. Here comes Steve coming through the final corner. Then Steve is in the final corner now. He goes 6 fast at the moment in the Haas there on a 34.4. Jonathan is on the home stretch as well. Twang just said, yeah, no pressure, as he seems like he has an audience there. Twang does. Into the pits comes Nigel then, as he's right down there, just so he doesn't get slap on the wrist there for speeding in the pits then. In the second sector, Jonathan is then, of course, he was third in the championship last season, and a very good third as well then, but let's see what he can do this season. Jonathan does have 2 wins to his name, don't he, in the ALR, of course, that incredible win in Japan, where he beat Nigel in a straight fight. Really, Nigel made a mistake, didn't he? That was the first time in ALR that anyone had beat the strong Dutchman. And then last season, I think that one of the most impressive drives you'll ever see was in Hungary, wasn't it? It was Hamilton-esque, wasn't it? Around there, he was untouchable in Hungary, and of course, he's looking up for it in this race, isn't he? The question is, though, of course, a lot of drivers do race in other leagues there, and of course, everyone is on Australia this week. So it's going to be interesting now to see, because the grid, the calendar's been mixed up slightly. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. Jonathan's very much on it, isn't he? 3 tenths of a second in front of Brandon at the moment. That's a very good time indeed there from the British-Italian driver there, as he flicks through turn 1. Very good indeed. Here comes Gunnar then, and Gunnar is in the first sector. We're keeping on what Gunnar does. So is Farshot as well. We got Granty, hard defending champion, who is also on track as well. Here's the man that lost the championship, Emerson. He is in the Mercedes then at the moment, the sole representative for Mercedes, as Laggy, of course, had a qualifying ban, but he would but of course Laggy will very much be in it to win it in the race. I'm sure of that. He'll be definitely there or thereabouts to score some points. Here comes car 29. This is Granty then, and he is coming back into pits then with just 5 minutes to go. Granty, he needs to get a move on, because he hasn't set a time yet, and these guys are really pushing the envelope here in terms of time, because yeah, they've only got 5 minutes to go. It's not the shortest track on the calendar, is it? As a Gunnar is having to abandon his lap and is going to have to go around again. So just going to stick on board with Emerson there. Love over the show shot of Emerson, and look at how much he's playing by the wheel. Look at all the information on that steering wheel as well. It's always information overload for the drivers, isn't it? You need a PhD just to drive these cars these days. Here comes Emerson then, coming around turn 16 there as well. You can see, look in the background, there's a Haas. I think it's Farshot then, of course, the only man who keep the same team that he was last season. Emerson comes around the front corner and he goes faster still. Emerson did. Emerson then doing a 33 flat there. He's only had 1 pole position to his name, Emerson is. This could be interesting. For Farshot following him closely in the second position now on a 33 on a 33-2. Roscoe there just coming through turn 1 a moment ago. Yeah, flagged. I think it's just the top 3 guys that are just going away. Here comes the Scotsman, Roscoe then. He 33.6 in the second sector at the moment. Oh, he's got a bit wide there. Of course, track, we haven't spoken about track limits yet around here. It can be a bit brutal, especially turn 2 there. If you run too wide and take too much speed, then you get an invalidated track extension. cutting the corner, and of course you also get a track extension as well. Not many people are drifting out wide around there. That's interesting, isn't it? Of course that corner can catch out the unwary there. But yeah, it's fairly interesting around there. Just back on board there with Roscoe as well, as he is coming up to turn 12, I think, sorry, 13 and 14, I believe it is 13 and 14. And you see that going under the bridge then. You see we've got, lovely bit of got a theme park on the right hand side there. Roscoe's not even going to be remotely interested in that at all. All he's going to be interested in is the apex and the final part of this lap then. He's on the soft compound tires as well. He's nailed his colours to the mask quite late on in this session, hasn't he? Because he hasn't got time there. Well, he might have time, but it's going to be very limited time, isn't it? Because he ain't going to be able to get around, there in a leisurely pace. He's done a 34-1 there. Track illusion is starting to really ramp up now, isn't it? As we're just watching Grant Hughes back out on the soft tyres. We're going to keep an eye on Gunnar, the Irishman. And here he is then. Of course, he is the most experienced driver in the ALR history. 36 Grand Prix. Incredible stuff. Gunnar's not far away from 50. He goes up to 8 fast at the moment. Gunnar does well. He's thrown the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't he, the Irishman? He is in 8th position at the moment. And really, he's in the top 10. Good stuff from Gunnar. Just on board Farfetch. He's on at the moment. Roscoe is just on an in lap there. Just so we're sticking with Farfetch, the man who won 2 out of 2 this time last season. Really started off the season very impressively as well, didn't he? In the Ferrari. So I think we're going to stick with Farf. We will stick with Farf for the minute. 2.5 minutes to go. That time is getting quicker and quicker, isn't it? As I look up, it's getting lower and lower, isn't it? And then I gotta say, this is probably one of the best shots in Formula 1. Brilliant stuff indeed. It would be nice if the cars can get closer to that, actually, wouldn't it? That'll be absolutely splendid. Now going into turn 2, and Farfetch, you can see, look at that. That is absolutely beautifully done from Farfetch. Cool as you like. As he comes through turn 3, then you can take a couple of multiple lines through turn 3. Now in the turn 4, then you can see again another right angle corner there, and now the track is getting busy with just 1 minute and 50 seconds to go as we go around the Winter Olympic Park here in Sochi, Russia. Of course, I think the Winter Olympics was back in 2014 on the edge of the Black Sea. So we're right smack bang on sea level. So. Of course, then we visit some tracks which is miles above sea level. Mexico and Brazil stands out for it. I think Baku is actually below sea level, isn't it? I think it is. I read somewhere that parts of the track is anyway. I do love a good random stat like that. Of course, there's one stat you'll probably hear me mention as well around round 8 of this season. Of course, there's only 12 days where it rains in Bahrain, and I'll share that as much as I can because I think that's absolutely fascinating. Because I'm quite sad. Farfetch coming through. Oh, look at that! Almost going into the bar there. Farfetch. I don't think he was too worried at all. Though, was he, the Ferrari driver? But I certainly was for him. He comes around turn 18 now. Then he flicks it in beautifully well. Let's see what he does. He goes second fastest for Farfetch. And, wow, a good time indeed there for Farf. Here comes Granty then. Granty hasn't got much of deployment left, has he? We haven't even touched on the Urs. We'll touch on Urs, I think, in Q3. Granty goes 4th fastest, and that should see him safe, possibly. I would say, I'd say when the late 33s might be feeling a bit edgy out there at the moment. Matt, who is in the drop zone at the moment, he's on the 34.2 as it stands now qualifying. So the target time is Gunnar on the 34.0. At the moment, I'm not sure what Gunnar's doing. He's still out there at the moment, so he's in the pits. Gunnar is. So I think that's Gunnar's contribution to this qualifying session done and dusted. And same with Roscoe as well. So we've lost Roscoe and Gunnar as it stands so far. Storm is also out of qualifying as well. So Storm is gone as well. And so we're starting to drop like flies here. Is Storm going to be safe? I would say that's on the cusp, isn't it? I think Brandon might be the one where I think up till Brandon is probably where they might feel safe. So possibly, I think 7th and below is definitely going to be feeling a bit twitchy. We've got Mr. Elite, Gunnar and Roscoe have all finished. Matt, Steve, Gamer and Nigel all out there. Nigel is in the drop zone as well then. Here he comes and Matt coming through the final turn now. Let's see what he can do. This is the final corner. Matt flies up at the fastest. He is fast as a cracking dog there from Matt. And he is through and in Q3. Nigel is on the back straight at the moment. We got Steve who's also out there as well. Gamer is on. I'm not sure what Gamer is going on there. It says he's on an outlap. I'm not sure if he is or not, but I'm not sure if they're just tricking me. Codemasters are. I need to be on my toes. Here is Nigel. He's always on his toes. All of them hacksawing away at the steering wheel. Then this is it. Then he's got yellow flying 2 and 3. Hopefully it's none of the drivers on the fast lap. I'm hoping it's not. Steve is still going for it. He's still going for it. Nigel's ran out of deployment. He has run out of deployment there. I think Gamer's Gamer's gone 7th. He has squeezed himself in. Gamer was on a fast up, a cracking time there for Gamer. Nigel goes 8th fastest then. So Nigel's through time. We've lost Storm. It's between Echo and Steve. Who is going to get out? Who is going to be knocked out? Here he comes in through the final corner. Brandon might be knocked out as well. He will. Oh, Brandon's is at the moment on the cusp. What about Echo? He's 7th to the second lap then. As we come into the final section now, then there's a Ferrari in front of us. I'm not sure who that is, but I don't think we should worry about that at the moment. Echo comes through the final corner, and Echo is through. Brandon's been knocked out. I think Brandon's been knocked out, has he? We're on board with him. Is he on a time? I think he is on a time at the moment. We're on board then with Brandon. Of course, my checker flag might be a bit awry there. We have lost Storm, we've lost the Elite, we've lost Gunnar and Roscoe, I think. Here comes Brandon through the final corner. Is Nigel going to be out? No! Nigel is still in. Brandon has been knocked out of Q2. Incredible stuff. Wow. And I've got to say, that was a very feisty, a very interesting end to Q2. And we have lost some big scalps in qualifying too, haven't we? Look at the list of names here. We have lost Brandon from the Ferrari. The man who won the last race in Abu Dhabi is out of Q2. Wow, that is dramatic. So that is incredibly dramatic. Ooh. Well, Steve there going fastest there, and a pretty pressed on the track, really ramped up, didn't it? Roscoe is out of qualifying, so is Gunnar, so is Mr. Elite, Storm and Brandon, all been knocked out of qualifying. Through to Q3 is Nigel, Gamer, Jonathan, Granty, Fireshot, Farf, Emerson, then Matt, Echo and Steve. And look at that, we got 4 men on the soft compound tyre, we have got 6 men on the medium compound tyre. As I'm getting in position now, because I know that this is going to be an absolute fraught 12 minutes. So I've got my bottle of water here. I've adjusted my hairline. Let's do this. So we're into qualifying 3 now then. There is only 12 minutes now to determine who is going to be on pole position for the first race of the season. Who is going to get pole position out of these 10 extraordinary men, the 10 fastest men on this time of the year then. So that is in the history books now then. So who is going to get pole position? Fireshot, of course, was on pole position last time we raced around here just a couple of months ago then, as the calendar has been mixed up this time. Emerson has been I think he's got a Q3 ban, hasn't he, for his misdemeanors and taken out Dan in Abu Dhabi there. So Emerson would have been with a shout really of getting a pole position. So as we look up and down to see who couldn't get pole position then, out of these burly lovely lot. Of course we got Farf, who's never had a pole position before in his career. We have Echo, who's had a pole position. We've had Jonathan, who has had 2 pole positions of his career as well in ALR. Granty has had a pole position as well. Nigel has had I think Nigel's got the most pole positions out of anyone in this group. He has indeed, with 3 pole positions to his name. Matu hasn't had a pole position yet in ALR, from what I can tell. And Steve, who hasn't had a pole position either. Gamer, but Fireshot has had 2 pole positions, I believe. So that's your stats then. No, he hasn't. He's had 1 pole position. Sorry, I lied to you. Jonathan there, first man out then. So Jonathan there is no, he ain't. Guarantee is out on is the first man out on track at the moment. No, he ain't. Jonathan is. Yeah. So we're just watching the guys then just cruise out at the moment. And we just get, this is the calm before the storm then, isn't it? It's quite a long lap. It's a minute and a half around here, isn't it? A minute and 33 seconds around this Russian Grand Prix. So I think some tracks you might be able to get away with 3 runs. Of course, one of the short tracks, maybe Austria comes to mind, for example. But here it's kind of really a two run kind of thing. And as Emerson's just confirmed, he did confirm that he does have a Q3 ban, unfortunately, for his misdemeanor in Abu Dhabi, which I feel that he did lose a lot more than Dad did, but which is a shame there. But Emerson is back and raring to fight now. On board Granty. Here is the man who lost the championship to Granty, the season 2 ALR champion there. Incredible season as well from Granty. And he is back in the Rocket Williams there, isn't he? He was saying about that steering wheel, wasn't he, in the pre-race interviews about the steering wheel, and how it's I was a bit distracting there. Of course, the Williams is I think the only car that doesn't have its display on the actual steering wheel now. They have it attached to the cockpit itself, so that the steering wheel is a lot lighter, which every little helps, isn't it? Really, isn't it? From Formula 1's point of view. Oh, they should be sponsored by Tesco's, really, shouldn't they? Granted, they're getting a bit livelier on the loud pedal as he is. Look at that sun blaring right in his eyes, and there's a car in front of us. Is that car going to get out of the way then? We'll soon find out. There's 9 cars. It is going for this pole position. Farf is still chilling in the pits, as is Fireshot as well. Fireshot asked if I stood in his helmet. I'll have a look at it in just a few moments. And when Fireshot comes out, granted, there we're staying on board there with the champion, the defending champion. We got 2 of ALR's champions in there here, haven't we? As Nigel is also out there as well. It'd be great to see. Nigel really. Really in it from the get-go, isn't it? Of course, he missed the first 3 races last season. He finished, I think, 6th in the end in the Driver Championship, 5th or 6th. A really impressive season for Nigel, but he was just slightly off the pace, wasn't he, of the top runners? Grant, he was definitely not off the pace. Let's see, he comes through the follow through. He gets pole position so far on a 31.7. Of course, he is the first man through. What about Jonathan? Jonathan, oh, that's his teammate right in the way of Echo there. And now Jonathan there has been completely impeded by his teammate. Of course, we was talking about the strong teammates of the Alpha males. That is not going to tour well for the British Italian driver. Nigel there is just starting his lap. Then Matt is halfway through the lap. Steve is also battling the final part of the course, where you could probably be forgiven. It feels more like an American street circuit, can't you really? Anyway, now comes Steve coming around the final turn. And now Steve goes to second fastest on a 32.5 from the harsh driver. Echo now comes out now. Jonathan is in the pits, and so unfortunately his time was completely ruined there by Elite there. Matt is also in the pits as well, so he hasn't had a good time as well. But his teammate Gamer goes into third position. Well, Gamer does a late call up, so I'm wondering how he's going to do. And I must apologise to Echo, as I think that Jonathan invalidated his time, so he let his teammate Echo go. So I apologise to Echo, as I wrongfully accused him of demolishing Jonathan's lap there. So Jonathan invalidated his lap and then let his teammate go. We came on board Jonathan just around here, where Echo was just in front of him. So so Echo there is on his way. So we thought we was going to have a bit of infighting in the team there, wasn't we? We'll have Lewis Hamilton and Rosberg possibly, and we hadn't even started the race yet. 7 minutes to go. Then it was Nigel there taking a bit of the exit curve there, as he did minimise the slip angle into turn 17. Now coming into turn 18, here comes Carter 36. He comes from Russell, now goes second fastest, and the only man into the 31s at the moment is Granty. Is he in the League of One? Is he catchable? That is the question, isn't it? Well, Fireshot definitely think anyone is catchable, because the man has got some pace, hasn't he? And now here comes Echo then, coming through turn 17 now then. No one's taking out the bollard yet, have they? Now into turn 18, where's Echo going to slip himself into? 5th position at the moment. Now we're on board with Fireshot. Let's go on board then with Fireshot, and I'm loving that red and black helmet there from Fireshot. And you can see them taking oh, and there's a Gamer going off the track there. But Fireshot is not even too concerned about that at the moment, as he is into the final stages of his lap now. You can see he's done a very good job with the ERS deployment system, hasn't he? Of course, you see the D down in the bottom right hand corner. That is the deployment he has left. You can see he's about to run out of it now. Oh no! And Fireshot is invalidated his time. Remember, he was on pole position, wasn't he? At this time, last time we was here. Sorry about that. I'm a bit gassy. But Fireshot has had Fireshot there unfortunately invalidated his time there, and he's come back in the pits. And his teammate is in there as well, is he? Yeah, so Steve there just also causing Fireshot some problems as well. Well, that's not good at all, is it, for Fireshot? Because, man, he was on pole position last time we was here. And hasn't gone well at all, though, has it, for Fireshot? So the pressure's now on him. It's a one and done deal, isn't it? Well, we've also got a lot of, we've only had half the field, or half the participants actually get a time in. So Farf hasn't set a time yet, nor is Jonathan, nor has Matt and Fireshot, and Emerson, of course, who hasn't set a time either. Jonathan is out there fairly early on. I'm wondering if Jonathan's just going to see where the track is, then abandon it and come back in. He's got 5 minutes. It is going to be touch and go if he wants to come out. Wants to come out when the track is at its best. Then, but Jonathan would rather have a looks like he's going for more of a clearer circuit at the moment, because he hasn't got that anomaly of other drivers on the circuit to cause him any problems. Echo is also out there at the moment. Well, I think he's on his in lap. Echo has done his time on the medium compound tire, which is Interesting. I think it's because he might have run out of soft tires, perhaps. But you can see going through turn 3, then Jonathan is flicking it into turn 4. I know, lovely new helmet design there for Jonathan. Of course, all these guys then over the winter period have probably been just adapting their driving styles, seeing what they can improve on. It's interesting as well, actually, because now we're in the second season. This is ALR's first ever time we're doing 2 seasons on one Formula 1 game. So we got a lot with all the lap records, the track Polatic records and things like that. I think that we will see times being more improved then. Of course, remember then that you just improve, you just get better and better as you race, don't you? So this season it's going to be interesting to see which, because at the beginning of last season it was whoever adapted the cars the quickest. Now it's interesting to see who is controlled these beasts the best, isn't it? We're on board then with Jonathan in the second half of last season. Definitely seemed to have tamed the beast, doesn't he? Because second half of last season was impressive, wasn't he? Here he comes then as he's come through the final couple of corners now. Let's see, is he going to ban this time? No, he's staying out there. Who else out there at the moment? Farf is also on an outlap as well. So is Matt then. So this is where it's getting really heated indeed. Jonathan comes from the fight. He's got pole position then. He's got pole position. And this he is aiming for his third career pole position of ALR. And he's very good in qualifying, isn't he? I was quite surprised he hasn't got many pole positions, but he's going to put that right, isn't he? At the moment, and he's definitely doing so as well. Now we're going to just go on board then. The returnee Matt. We haven't seen him race for a season, but he is back in action, and he is in the Red Bull then, and he is now going through turn 1. It's not really a turn 1 as such, is it? And you can see that he hasn't really upped the yours too much there, so I'm wondering if he's just trying to find his feet, Matt, is before going at it, before going like all in the final stages of this qualifying session. Just under 2 minutes to go then, and just under 2 minutes to go then. So a bit of a and we're going to find then it's going to get really intense, isn't it? Look, all those guys that are going to come out there. So we got Fireshot who needs to get a time in. So pressure's all on Fireshot. Gamer, Echo, Steve, Nigel, and Granty were all expected to be out as well. Is Jonathan then going to be able to come back in the pits and do a quick turnaround in the Alfa Romeo? It's great to see both Alfa Romeos up there at the moment. A very strong start to the Alfa Romeos team campaign, because Jonathan first at the moment. Echo is in 6th position. Got both Red Bulls in there as well. Gamer and Matt, brilliant stuff. And also we've got the both Haas's as well, and of Steve and Fireshot. Some pretty interesting. I've got to say, when the draw came out, of course, the draw is randomised, and it was off the wheel of fortune, so to speak. And of course, so drivers cannot pick their cars. It was all random. So, and I've got to say, we've got some very interesting team lineups, haven't we? Matt there is coming through the final couple of turns now. He's in turn 14 there, tickling the throttle. Now stamps on the throttle for 18, and he goes into 7th. So he's done a banker. Now he's going to go full beans, I think. Farf, I think, is also going to go full beans as well, as he is on a banker as well. Jonathan, I think, is staying out at the moment, so he's harvesting. He wants to still be in it to win it. Fireshot is coming out the pits now then. So then, this is where the action is really going to get placed. Farf is now going to stamp on it. Here comes Matt, and he is through the infamous turn 3 then, and he flies through. That's a lovely shot from the Red Bull driver. He goes into turn 4 now, and stamping on the throttle. He is away, and he is ready to go. What's his first sector time? He's 3/10 of a second up. Of course, that is now full beans. Urs has got the power output of a small family car, and he's invalid his time, Matt has, and I'm wondering if this might be I think it's invalid his time, but he's definitely dropped off. So Matt has had a problem. Farf has gone 5th fastest, so maybe Farf's time was much better than what I gave him credit for there. So Farf really doing a good job there indeed. And you can see that Matt coming through now. He's only got half a minute from home. Do you reckon he can get through there? Well, we'll find out in a minute. Well, Farf is still going on for it now, isn't it? We're just going to stick with Farf then, as Matt is just dropped off the pace there slightly. Steve is also out as well. We got 24 seconds to go. This is the first qualifying session of season 1 of ALR, and my goodness gracious me, this is very intense indeed, isn't it? And I got to say, I'm already really sweaty, and it's not a good sight. It's not a good sight really. Man, here comes Farfen. I don't think that Farf's going to be very sweaty at all, and he is a second and a half up. My goodness me, he should be sweating because that's a cracking old second sector there from Farfen. Let's see what he can do then. He hasn't got many corners to go now. There's 4 corners to go. He's 4 corners from home. Can Farf get a pole position, the first pole position of the season then? I know, taking a very acute angle there. He's running out of deployment there. He's running out of fuel. He's over as there were 2 corners from home then. Jonathan is done. Farshot is done. I think Farshot is done as well. I'm not sure if I believe that. We'll find out in a minute. Farf comes around the front corner. He goes third fastest. Farf there. So Farf jumps up to third then. Granty is 600 second up. Is that enough? He spins the right way. He spins the right way. Granty is in the wall. The champion has gone into the wall then. And he is second at the moment then. Got Nigel there out on track. We got Steve there. He is not too far from home either. So here comes the man who's fifth in the chat, who's fifth in the on the road at the moment. Then here he goes then, coming across the line now then, and Steve goes fifth fastest. Fireshot is done. He just said in the comments that he was just under a second from home. What a shame there from. What a shame from Farshot. He was on pole position last time here. This season he's only going to start 10th position. That is a big blow because Emerson's going to be 9th. And he wasn't even involved in qualifying. Gamer coming around the front turn. He is 6th at the moment. He is 6th at the moment. He stays 6th in. And he is, that's a good time there from Gamer then. On board Nigel then. Let's see where Matt is. Matt is also right behind Nigel on the track as well. We got a Alpha male just in front of us. And that is Echo. He is also on track. He's also on a lap as well. Jonathan is currently as it stands on pole position. Can he keep it? Echo coming around the far tournament. Where's Echo? Echo's 6th position. Nigel is 4th position. Can Matt steal the glory? No, he's 7th for this one. Jonathan is on pole position then for the start of the ALR Season 3. A cracking time there from Jonathan. He is on pole position then. And absolutely cracking time there for Jonathan as well, because he was on the back foot. And a 31.680 from Jonathan, 700 of a second in front of the champion Granty, with Farf right up there in third, and Nigel in 4th position. What a juicy front row, 2 rows we've got there. Well, I've got to say that was definitely an impressive lap there from Jonathan. And then 5th position we have Steve. Good time there for Steve. Echo in 6th position there, showing he's a talented driver, isn't he? 2 Red Bulls, 7th and 8th position there. Good stuff. And Matt on his return to ALR hasn't missed a beat, has he? He's right up there. Gamer in 8th position, and he jumped in the car at the last minute, and he is on the pace as well. Impressive stuff. And then we have Emerson in at 9th position, who didn't set time because he had a Q3 ban, and Farshot, who missed the line there by just under 9/10 of a second there. So unfortunately it didn't go too well there for Farshot. And we got a bit of cloud cover overhead, haven't we? Remember, Jonathan did say it wasn't going to be rain for the race, but my goodness me, that looks like a very threatening sky, doesn't it? And you see we have 19 drivers there on the left-hand side there. They're just determining what to do. Farshot is already ready to go. So is Echo. Look at all the ticks that are going on the right-hand side then, as they are deciding on what to do. And Jonathan has just said yes, as he is very happy. That is Jonathan's first pole position of the season, and this is only his first qualifying session, but that is his 3rd pole position of his ALR career. So good stuff there from Jonathan. I think he's had a pole position in every season he's entered in now, so that's impressive stuff, isn't it? Now then, as we go on the formation lap then here in Russia then. So 27 laps around here. We got 19 cars then to start us off then, and this is going to be very tasty indeed, isn't it? So let's go for the grid, shall we then, from front to back. Jonathan, his 3rd pole position of his career, his 1st pole position of the season is 1st. Granty is 2nd. That is row 1. Granty, of course, 3 wins to his name in ALR. He is also the defending champion. Can he start off on a high? Farf is in 3rd position. Of course, Farf had a very strong beginning of the season last season, didn't he? I think he started around this area when he won the race in Australia, so maybe that's might be a sign of things to come. Nigel in 4th position, of course, Season 1 champion. Then he is in 4th at the moment, and he is right here from the get-go this time around. He is 4th. They're all on medium compound tyres. Steve is in 5th position, with Echo in 6th position, with Matt in 7th, and 8th position is Gamer, all on soft compound tyres, and they're going to be lightning quick going into turn 2. We got Emerson then, the man who was runner-up last season. This will be his first full season this season. He missed 3 races at the beginning of last season, and he also missed Brazil, didn't he, last season as well. well. But let's see what the Mercedes driver can do. Fire Shot is in at 10th position then in the Haas. Unfortunately, he missed the line by 9/10 of a second, which means he didn't get a crack at going for pole position or getting a time up there for Fire Shot, unfortunately. Brandon there, one of the big scouts, knocked out of qualifying, is in 11th position in the Ferrari, with Storm in 12th position, and Storm in 12th position then on the medium tyre then in the Toro Rosso. Mr. Elite is in 13th position now. Soft tyres with Gunnar, 14th position, also soft as well. Roscoe in 15th and Twang in 16th. Well, we didn't see anything of Twang actually in qualifying, so it was good to see him. And of course, there we got a proper cinema experience, haven't we? As I think as someone said that they're watching him on TV, I think. I can't remember who it is now, sorry about that. Hopefully you can remind me in the comments. But Twang on soft tyres. Laggy is on the hard compound tyres. So Laggy, the only man going on the hard tyres then. I wonder if it's going to be warm-up difficulty there. Sam is 18th position and Murphy is in 19th position then. And getting all very cosy at the back there, isn't it? So Murphy there, 19th position then. We have got 19 cars around Rush and then 27 laps for these guys to navigate, and Murphy is the final man then to get on the start line. 5 sets of lights are on, and we are go in a minute. We will go as again we see Dominic. Now we go, and here we go then. And there's a red pouring out from behind. Then the Stee is up in the fourth already. That's a cracking time for Farf. He's already through it, and they could shoot through to one. And look how close it's getting, very dicey. Look at this, and so far it's all fun and dandy, or is it? It is. And then look at that, then Jonathan there is in for an Echo. He's up in the second position. That's a fantastic start from Echo then, as they all come through turn one. And how are they all doing? They're all good. And yes, they are all good. Then they swing through. Jonathan leads. Farf is in second position. Got yellow flagging one just going on board. What's going on? Stee is off. Stee is the wrong way round then, and that's not going well at all for Stee. Jonathan leads. Farf is second. Echo is in first. He's up 3 positions. Echo's got off like a squad of cats. Amazing stuff. And as they go through the turn 5 areas, and then you can see then they're all still battling for position. Then Gamer's up a couple positions. Brandon's up 3 positions. There's a red ball. Matt there on Twang now. Just dies for position. Murphy's up 6. Fantastic stuff. Fire Shot is dropping down a couple positions. And look at this. That's a Mercedes there of Emerson, who's having a pole inside, and Fire Shot has gone very wide then as they come into the back straight. And Fire Shot is dropped. It's also dropped behind Storm as well. He's on the pole inside. Fire Shot I think he's damaged the car. Laggy has got in front of Sam as well, and Steve is also damaged as well. John for leads. Farf second, third position is Echo. Echo's had a fantastic start on the soft tyres. Nigel fourth, Granty in fifth position. There's all chaos back as Brandon is finally gamer. This is a cracking battle. Brandon is up into it, and we got a yellow flag and free. What's going on in free? Just take a look. It is it's Fire Shot. The both Hasses are at the back, and that's not going at all well, is it? That one completed. Jonathan leads. Second position is Farf. Third is Echo. Nigel's in fourth position. Granty is dropping down to fifth position. Well, Jonathan said the fast on. Look at this. Mr. Elite is all over the back. Mr. Elite, where's he? He's up 7 positions. That's a bottler gone off the track there, as and Matt has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, and so it's all gone awry then on board then with Mr. Elite. And as you can see, he's gaining on the champion. Granty's had the pole and start. He's dropped down, and Echo is through. Farf is what? Oh no, he's got on to. Oh my goodness me! And how did anyone avoid Farf? Farf there. Oh my gosh! And that's a Mercedes going across the right off as well. And Farf is recovering, and he hasn't damaged the car, but he's dropped all the way down into 16th position. Pit stops as both Houses have also had problems. This is a polling start for the House team. It's a cracking start for Alfa Romeos. They lead the Russian Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 for the Alfa Romeos. Nigel in third position. Fourth is Granty. Mr. Elite is all over the back of Granty's exhaust pipe there in fifth position. Brandon 6, Twang 7. 8th position is Gamer. Murphy is up 9. He's up 10 positions already. Murphy seems flying through the field. Unfortunately, he's got Emerson behind him there, and these two have come together in Abu Dhabi, didn't they? And hopefully then a repeat there. Storm 11th position, Roscoe in 12th position, Laggy in 13th position, but he's got problems there because Sam is now all over the back of him as well. Here they are, it's looking at him, Sam there pulling out. He's driving for the first time in the McLaren now. He's trying to overtake his former team. It is the Mercedes team. He is through, and we got yellow flag in free. That's oh my goodness me! Emerson and Murphy have got into each other. Murphy's retired for the session. He's got a 5-second penalty for severe collision, and that is our first retirement of the season. That is not good at all for the Renault driver. He is out, and not sure what went on there. We see nice in the end there, and Murphy is out. He is left for session. It's just not going at all, was it? And Emerson has got. Oh, we got both Mercedes at the pits. It's chaos here. What's going on? Like, he's not going to have to come on. Look at that. That's a Mercedes. That's a McLaren on the outside. He touches with Sam there. But Sam is up to 11th position now. Gunnar in 12th position. Favre is up to 14th. Emerson has damaged the whole wing. The man. And look, the Mercedes mechanics ain't even ready for him. So they're going on to the soft compound tyres and oh dear, it's not going at all well here in Russia. It's been an appalling start. We're only on lap 3, and we've had incidents galore. Matt there is just recovering. As Steve there is also recovering as well. Far shot is on the hard tyre. Jonathan leads second. Echo, but they've got a bit of a train form behind Echo at the moment. We've got Nigel there. Oh, Nigel's gone off the track there, and that is going to really interest the. So we've got Sam and Laggy, who is really having a good old scrap into turn 1 here. No, then it's turn 5. I'm completely off, and now Sam is defending for all it's worth. He's got a Ferrari, and he's got Gunnar behind him as well. And this is the battle for 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Fed Murphy out of the race already. Farfair almost all the way off the track there. He is all over the back of the Irishman Gunnar, and Gunnar's gone wide then. And now as Farfair goes up the inside, he has got track position. He is up in the 13th position then. And up next is Laggy as well. And Sam there is really looks like Sam really showing for performance at the moment. He's 5 seconds away from Roscoe, and but he's still in 11th position. Well, look at this, he is really oh my god, I think Sam is what's going on? Oh no, and look at this, there's all sorts going on there, and oh, Laggy is oh no, that is not good at all there. Laggy is gone into the God side of Jonathan. Has got a 3-second penalty. These penalties might cause some issues there. Now we got Gunnar and Laggy also battling his way as well, and Laggy there getting a bit too brutal there, but far from Sam's cars are absolutely are built like well, they build them well, don't they? Laggy in the pits, and he has damaged the car, and he unfortunately for Laggy then, so he is in the pits then, unfortunately, and he's going to have to he's just damaged the car, so he's going on the soft tires. So, and I think the big winners in that then was Murphy. He was up flying up a couple positions. Twang is up 9 positions now then. And for Grant, he's dropped down 2 positions. But Jonathan now is under pressure from his teammates at the moment. His teammates on soft tires. And look at that. Whoa, oh my goodness, we got a train here. It's the Nigel train at the moment, isn't it? As they are battling for third, fourth and fifth position. Brandon is just 2 seconds back at the moment. They've got a bit of a train doing Brandon as well. That's Twang and Gamer who's flying at the moment now. And look at this, and Mr. Elite there almost going into the wall there, but he somehow kept it on the straight and narrow there, and he is on his way in the McLaren. But now is Jonathan's now extended his lead to 1.1 second at the moment. These penalties could come back to haunt Jonathan now. He needs to keep it clean now, doesn't he? Nigel there at the moment is the slowest of the. It looks like he's struggling out the top 5 at the moment. Brandon is now also starting to bear down on these guys as well, and. As Laggy is now all over the back of Steve as well. I think there's been some interesting incidents over the course of the start of this race. We'd be interested to see what went on between Murphy and Emerson. As once again they seem to clash, don't they? Murphy, the first retirement of the season 3, and that's a big shame, isn't it, from the Renault driver. Emerson says, oh, look at the back right there. That is a fight. Twang is and Twang there is damaged. He's damaged. He's gone into the back of the Ferrari. I think Twang there had a lot of speed on that Ferrari, and he is thrown up into 6th position then. And I think he just must have missed. I don't think Brandon there. I think Brandon didn't have as much speed as Twang now. Twang has now got damaged car. He's got damaged goods now, isn't he, the Renault driver? And he's going to really show that Gamer all over the back of the Ferrari. He's giving him a nudge. He's giving him another nudge. Matt has got the fastest of the race, but that has quickly been eclipsed there by Emerson as well. And into the pits there comes Gunnar. He's on the hard compound tyre. Is that going to get him to the end of the race? Well, we'll find out soon enough, won't we? And now then Twang there, who has got the move done, but unfortunately he's damaged the car, so he's going to really struggle, isn't he? And look at this then, we've now got a bit of a queue behind Twang, haven't we, as they fly. And I got to say, I'm starting to grimace as they go wide there. We had an almighty shunt there between Sam and Emerson last season here, didn't we? So hopefully we don't see a repeat at the moment. I've got to say, very good drive now at the moment. We've only had one retirement, and that was Dan. And now is Brandon now coming out, it's just pulling out from the back end there of Twang there. He's gone up the inside, on the outside state, and he is through and up into 6th position. Gamer though, it's on a cracking old race, isn't he? Of course, the man who was stepped in quite late for Northern Lights, and he is doing a brilliant time out there, and he is fighting absolutely greatly, brilliantly as well. Storm, who's up into 9th position there, just behind this battle as well. 8/10 of a second. Echo is in DRS zone of Jonathan, his team, and Alpha Romeo are leading 1-2 here in Sochi. Laggy has left the session then, but so Laggy has left the session, and yeah, so unfortunately Laggy is our second retirement then. Anyway, but you can see then Storm there is gaining. He is pulled out of the slipstream quite quickly, quite early, and now then you can see, and a Gamer there. Oh, and a full Gamer there. That was great that's a good touch on the brakes there from Gamer. Fantastic. We're down to 17 cars then in this race. Unfortunately, Laggy is retired from 15th position, which means that Steve, Gouda and Farshot will all move up positions then in this Russian Grand Prix. We've got 20 laps to go still, so we've got a long old race to go, everyone, and it's sure to be full of frills and spills. And you can see Brandon now pulling away then because of Twang's damage there. There's a car that went very wide there in the background. I think it was the Williams. It was the Williams of Roscoe there in 10th position mode. His teammate Granty is in 4th. Yellow flag in 1. Oh, that's a McLaren off. That's Sam who's got off the track, and I think that is just out of turn 4. I think it is out of turn 4 now. Matt is going to be bearing down on him as well. Emerson in 14th position at the moment then. Laggy there, who's retired from the session. Back to the front then. Echo at the moment he's now starting to. Oh, well, we come out of the back of Storm. It's through. Oh, is he? Look at this. They're all over the back of Twang then as they come into the chicane in turn 13. And Storm has got a penalty there. Gamer's on the inside. Storm is on the outside. Gamer getting plenty of room there. Good stuff indeed then. And now as Storm is now up into 8th position. And Gamer dropping down to 9th. And look in the background. There's Roscoe who wants a piece of this as well. Oh, Gamer, they're going very wide indeed then. And I've got to say it's battling 2 for now. Then we've got a 3-second penalty for Granty, who's in 4th position at the moment. That's not going to help his cause, but of course this is a penalty. This is a track where you get a lot of penalties. Then you've seen the on-board game, and there's a bar that went up. That was his deployment. Laggy has joined, so he's back in the session. He is back racing, and he is in 16th position mode. Storm now is trying to stop by Twang. He's going on the inside down in turn 2. He is through. Oh, he is through. No, he had Twang there breaking so much later. But now then we got Gamer who's on the outside. Remember, this is reminiscent of Jonathan's overtake maneuver back in last season. And look at this, Storm is on the outside. He's trying to push him too. He's trying to push him, and look, that's a cracking move there from Gamer. Incredible stuff. He is up into 8th position then, and he is back through. That's a great move from Gamer. I gotta say, if I wore a hat, I would take my hat off. That was brilliant. Oh, he's pushing Twang there through turn 6 at the moment. Then there's Twang there is defending 2 for 0, isn't he? He's got a damaged wing, hasn't he? Because he went into the back of Brandon a couple of laps ago, and he's now got a bit of a queue of cars on. Roscoe is in the mix as well. Farf is down in 11th position moment, and he is just outside the points in the second Ferrari. Then, of course, he was battling off the front. It just went slightly awry, didn't it? We got 18 cars in this race out of 19 that started. Unfortunately, Murphy missed qualifying, and then he's really struggled. He's been on the back foot since then. Echo is now under a lot. He is still within a second there. Echo is it's yo-yoing around, isn't it? The top 2. Oh, Twang has gone a bit too wide there, hasn't he? I know that's really allowing Gamer to have big. Oh, where's Twang gone? Twang's gone well off the track, and he's gone well off the track, and Gamer's through. Is Storm through as well? We'll find out. Look at this then, and he's parking on the outside, and this is incredible stuff. And you see then, look at him, he's all over the back of Twang then as they come into turn 19. Turn 17. I'm on the corners on this track then. Sam is and Matt are battling 2 for 0 because I think Sam's dropping down the order. Sam's got a problem, and we'll hopefully come back to that smooth because now they're coming slipstream and going down into turn 2. And now look at that, Twang there is flying. Look at that Renault's got amazing pace, and it's amazing straight line speed then. And down in turn 2, he's back through past Gamer, and I don't think Gamer's going to take that line down as they come through turn 3. Oh, lovely shot here at the steering wheel. Gamer on board with the Red Bull driver now. He is looking to go on the outside. Another 3-second penalty for Jonathan. Those penalties might cost the leader as of course he's got the track position, but he's feeling the pinch, isn't he, at the moment from Echo? As Emerson's moved up to 12th position, and his Matt dropped down to 13th position. Not a very good happy race for Matt at the moment on his return to ALR. And you can see then he's forcing Storm onto the curve there, and as we're having a fight 2 for now. I think Roscoe's not really interested in this battle at all. He's dropped off the pace. He's dropped off the back of this, hasn't he? I don't think he's keen on losing his front nose here. He's doing a very controlled race at the moment. No, it's Nigel is now up in 2-second position. Echo is dropping down to 3rd, and I think those soft tires are now starting to starting to really struggle, but we're going to stay with this battle. Look, it's a free car battle going into turn 13 there. Twang is getting knocked about. Where's Gamer? Gamer is on the inside. Storm is through, and Twang is not out of this yet, is he? He is battling away. Gamer and Twang now are battling, and now then there's Twang. Oh, Gamer's going on the inside there. Twang is staying on the outside. That is incredible driving. How incredible is that? And Gamer now still going through. Roscoe is coming into the pit side, so he is going to try and go for the undercut then. We'll talk about that in a minute because I think this battle is far from done, isn't it? Nigel's now in the second position. Can Nigel then knock Jonathan off his first try? I can't remember Nigel getting any passes, but Granty is now gaining on Echo as well. We've got Roscoe in the pits. That's the first scheduled stop then. And now then there's a Farfis in front as well as he pitted earlier on. Gabriel's on the inside. Twang again there. Battling away. Incredible stuff. Where this is the battle there for third position at the moment. Nigel is now up into second position. Emerson as Gunnar has retired from the section. Gunnar is out of the race, and we got a safety car. We got a safety car here in America. No, we're not in America, are we? I think we're in Russia. Wow. So we got a safety car. I'm not sure where Gunnar's gone off, to be honest. I wonder if he went off at the back straight or something. Well, he's caught a safety car, and this is absolutely beautiful for Roscoe. As Roscoe has now come out the pit, so he's come out behind the safety car, but he's allowed to overtake. So there's green lights on there. As now then, so Steve is also in the pits as well, and so taking advantage, and Steve is going on to the medium compound tire. We've got fire shot in as well. Both Haas drivers seem to be quite close to each other every time they come in the pits. Now the question is Jonathan going to come in the pits? And we're looking to see where Gunnar went off, to be honest. We have lost Gunnar, we have lost Murphy in the opening round of ALR Gold, and it's been absolutely dramatic, hasn't it? It really has. So, who is going to come in the pits? Who is going to roll the dice? This is perfect for the guys on the soft tires. So I think this is around about the time that's going to come in the pits. Who? Jonathan's in the pits. Is Nigel going to come in the pits as well? This is going to be interesting. Nigel is in the pits, and they're all coming to the pits. This isn't good at all. And that's Sam's getting a drive-through penalty for a 5-second penalty. This is not good at all for Echo. He is going to lose an awful amount of time. The Alfa Romeos are in a fantastic race, but unfortunately, they're going to this is going to cost Echo dearly, and it really is. And who is not? And Brandon is staying out. Brandon takes the lead then, and look, they're queuing in the Alpha. Oh, and they're queuing in the Alpha. It is still not good. Is it Jonathan now is out in second position? Then Brandon stays out. Then we've got the Williams in, and there's Nigel coming out of the pits now. Where is Echo? Echo is dropped down. He's behind Mr. Elite. He is behind Granty and Nigel. Mr. Elite is well, he's behind Nigel, but he's lost 2 positions in that flurry. Storm in the pits, and Twang is replacing his front wing. He's on the soft tires there, according to that. Oh, and that is that was a late release, wasn't it? And Gamer's out in front of Twang then. I think the Gamer will be happy with that. Farf is in the pits as well in the Ferrari then, so he's coming out. His teammate is leaving at the moment. Matt is in the pits then. So this is a bit of a reset to the race, isn't it? So we've got 17 laps now with fast and furious action, and Simon's also got a penalty then as well for being in the pits. So Roscoe is, look at this, he's racing on the line there because Roscoe's going to go through. He is through. Roscoe has jumped the 2 cars in front of him because of pitting a lap earlier. It's absolutely worked out to perfection there for Roscoe. Gunnar is left for session, unfortunately. Matt is coming out of the pits now. He's on the medium tires. Sam is coming out of the pits as well, and Laggy is on the medium tires, and hopefully allow guys like Laggy and Fireshot back into this race. And Fireshot is having a bit of a nightmare at the moment, isn't he, in the Haas? So we got safety car then after 10 laps. I know this was caused by the Irishman Gunnar who crashed somewhere. We're not really sure where he's crashed, to be honest. So so Brandon is staying out on the medium tire then. So this is interesting. This is an interesting ploy. Everyone else is coming to the pits. So so Brandon's gone against the grain here then, and we'll see how that works out. We've got Nathan Hughes saying late joining. What happened to Emerson? Not liking to be near the back of the pack. I think him and Dan come together again. I'm not sure. It looked like there's a penalty saying that there is Murphy got a penalty there for a collision with Emerson. So Codemasters blamed Dan for the collision there, but unfortunately that's 2-2 races for Emerson and Dan now that they've come together. I think this might be a similar scene to 2007 between Emerson, Massa and Hamilton, isn't it? Where they kept coming together. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's just 2 races in a row now that they've come together. It's not ideal, is it? For Emerson, that really wants a season where he needs a clean couple of races, don't he, to get him to keep himself in it to win it. so to speak, isn't he? And as we've got Urfi HC saying evening, fellas, and of course evening, Urfi. Hope you're enjoying this incredible Russian Grand Prix. And Farf is in the pits because I think he's damaged his. Is he? Oh no, he's rolling the dice. So Farf is in the. He's done his 2 mandatory stops now. Farf has, and will he get out in front of Matt? He might get out in front of Matt, and Matt, he will. No, he won't. Matt should be through, and also will he be? I think that Farf might come out behind, just in front of a far shot here. So well, he might come out in front of Sam. No, Sam there just blasting by the pit lane now. As there's a bit of a drag race, isn't it, coming down into turn 2 here. So Farfair out in 15th position, then Farshot in 16th, Laggy is 17th. So we've got a safety car then. Let's take a stock of what's going on then in terms of strategy and everything like that. So lap 11 then of this incredible Russian Grand Prix. Leading the race is Brandon then. He started 11th. He's leading the race then, but he hasn't stopped yet. Jonathan has stopped. He's on the hard tyre. Nigel's on the hard tyre as well. Granty has rolled the dice and he's gone the soft tyres. So Granty is going to be electric at the start of this race. The restart of this race. And Mr. Elite is having an inspired race in the McLaren in 5th position. Brilliant stuff. Echo is in 6th position. He's on the medium tyre. Unfortunately, he was battling up. He was battling up with Nigel, so he has lost position to Mr. Elite and Granty because Jonathan, of course, the first car on the track, he came in the pits. So that's a shame there. But Echo on the medium tyres. They're going to get to the end from there. That's interesting. Storm on the hard tyres. Roscoe on the hard tyres, where he had a perfect undercut. Roscoe didn't he? And he is now up to 8th. Gamer is in 9th position on the medium tyres, and Twang is in 10th position on the medium tyres as well. They resume their battle in just a few moments as well. Safety car in the end of that lane. Emerson at 11th position. He's on the medium tyre. 12th position is Matt. He's on the medium tyre as well. 13th position is Steve. Medium tyre. Sam has gone for more of an attacking strategy in 14th. Far 15th. Medium tyre. 16th is Far Shot. Laggy is 17th. Far. So this is the perfectly what the safety car needed. So this is what Laggy, Far Shot, Far Co needed really, because they've had a bit of a miserable start to this season, didn't they? Car 22. Brandon there. He is going to get away now. Is he? Let's find out. And look, that's a Williams there. Granted there. He's trying to get the jump on the racing point. And we go now. And Brandon there. Is he going? He is going now. He's accelerated. He is done it. But look at this. Jonathan wants to get by as quickly as possible. Now we're going Russia then. Here we go then. 3-second penalty there for Storm from multiple warnings then. And Laggy and Farshot are also back on the way. And Farshot has left the session then. So I wonder if Farshot's he has damaged the car. He went onto the back. And you Brandon there. Jonathan's going to go on the outside. Brandon on the inside. Brandon keeps the lead there. He's forced Jonathan wide then. Jonathan there is just keeping his foot planted. Look. There's 4 for us. There's 4 for us. Going through. Granty has taken the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. He's coming back, Alamo. And look, that Razor Point's gone. What then? Brandon dropped out of 4th position. Granty takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. Absolutely stupendous stuff out there. Quality driving, and Granty is through, and Laggy is gone. And he is out of the race. And we're on board with Farshot. Where is he gone? Oh, well, that's a shame then from Laggy's point of view. Granty leads as inspired stuff as well. Steve is dropping down the order as Brandon there dropping down. Laggy is left for session then. Mr. Elite 5th position. Echo in 6th position. Storm, Roscoe, Twang, Emerson is got in front of a Gamer now, but Emerson is now under pressure. Oh no, sir. Gamer is under pressure now from Sam. Sam is through. Sam is flying on the back straight. And look at them all. It's incredible stuff. It's Sam now going to go on the inside to see. He is going on the inside. Oh my goodness me. What was that? I'm not sure if that's a Red Bull or not. I think it was a Red Bull. It just went through him, and now it's Matt then who's got the advantage. Then now it's Far Gamer. Oh no, and it's all gone all alright then. And this is getting very tasty indeed, isn't it? It's Granty set the fast up the race, and Farfair is he having a lunge? No, not quite. And the Gamer there is still got the position mode. Steve in 15th position, and as Farshot and Laggy are out of the race. So Steve at the moment is the last car on lap 13. Granty leads. Jonathan second. And now look at this. And we got Brandon, who's now got under a lot of pressure then, as he's got a 3-second penalty then as they come over turn 2 then. And what's happening here? Well, it's Roscoe who's having a problem there with Twang, because Twang is on the inside. Twang is up to 8th position. Roscoe back on board, and Roscoe there. The Scotsman he's hanging out. He's hanging out on the outside. He has got the inside into turn 4. He has got the inside into turn 4, and he is back through. And that's a Mercedes there in the background. That's Emerson, the last year's runner up. He is going on the inside. He is through. and up into 9th position then. Twang is down to 10th position. Look at Sam, he is coming through the field like a hot knife through bar. He is through, he's side by side. Oh, no, this Twang is showing him a real wheel there, but Sam doesn't care. He's going on the outside. He is on the outside. He is through and up into 10th position. Wow, Sam up into 10th position. He's got a 3-second penalty there. But I gotta say, Sam is having an inspired first race here, isn't he? Did go too far from him in qualifying, but my goodness me, in the race he is flying out that number down. Look, Twang there, he's going back on the outside, I should say, and Sam's got the position there, and you can see Matt there is now Jonathan, I think he's got at least 9 seconds worth of penalties here. He's not going at all well. Roscoe and Emerson, oh no, we're just in the end of that there, so we're just having a lovely moody shot there. At the background we got a yellow flag there. Farf is gone. Farf is in the wall. He's in the wall. That's an unusual place. I'm wondering if there's something's gone awry there. Something has gone awry. Sam's in the pits there. Gamer's in the pits as well, and this is not gonna tour well, has it? And oh dear, and we got a couple of incidents here, aren't we, at the moment? Roscoe's in 10th position, but he's now attacking Twang, who's in 9th position. Twang is out on a good old scrap out there at the moment, isn't he? I'm not sure where to look next. Wow, I think we should look at Brandon and Mr. Elite and Echo for 4th, 5th and 6th. Brandon hasn't come in the pitch yet. Farfus left the session there. He's going to be very disappointed, isn't he? So we've lost, we're down to 14 runners and now to the 19 that started here in the first race of season 3 of Gold. And Mr. Elite then is just behind Brandon. Well, Brandon hasn't. I think Brandon's going to try and get to a sensible window and then going on to the going on to the soft tires. There's a far shot not happy. I think he damaged his front wing on the back of Laggy Racer by the looks. Under the safety car, and look at this, and that's Mr. Elite and Echo are battling away. Where's Mr. Elite? Look left, no, look right. I don't know where to look. He looks on the outside, but Mr. Elite is on the outside. Echo is on the inside. He's out in an inspired race. Echo is. Mr. Elite is having a cracking race on his own right as well. Mr. Elite is right back up there, isn't he, in car 6. And now Echo, he needs to get the job done as quickly as well. He needs to get the job done, doesn't he? So he doesn't let Nigel wander away too much into distance. He's now almost 2 seconds away from Nigel, the season 1 champion. And Nigel, I would say, in the mode is in the box seats for winning this race, because Granty's on the soft tires, but he's going to come into the pits. And now Echo is now through and up into 4th position then. And I thought he went to the back of the Ferrari then, so I'm not sure if the Ferrari ghosted or what, but he was very similar to the Twang incident, wasn't it? There's a Twang that really gained on the back of his competitor in front, but and just drove into the back of him coming out of turn 1. And the UF1 there is down in 5th position, then Elite 6. Now we got Emerson, who is all over the back of Storm, making a Storm in the Toro Rosso then, who is in 7th position. Look in the back, and there's Twang, who's had one of the most eventful races you'll ever see. Incredible stuff. And whereas now, let's take a look then. Emerson is going to go on the inside. He is on the inside. He is through and up into 7th position on this medium tires. There's a lot of penalties going on out there on this first race back. And it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to finish how they line up as they come over the line, are they? Mr. Elite is now all over the back of Brandon, isn't he? Where is Echo? Echo is 6 tenths of a second in front. So Brandon still has DRS, so that is not going to help Mr. Elite out at the moment. But Mr. Elite might not need any help because he's going to go on the inside, is he? No, not quite. Brandon leaves. Oh, Brandon's gone wide though. He's skated off. He's gone wide, and Mr. Elite is up into 5th position. And he is up into 5th position. Brandon dropped down to 6th, but Brandon is playing the long game here. So Brandon fans out there, do not worry too much, because he is all about the long game here. So nothing to worry too much about Brandon at the moment. It will pay dividends later on in the race. Matt and Roscoe there, two long-time rivals, is now going to lock horns again here in Russia as well. We're on board there with Matt, and he will have DRS now then. The field is starting to spread out now then on lap 16 out of 27. We've got 11 laps from home. The penalties, lovely. The penalties are definitely going to definitely accumulated. I think yellow flag in word. What's that? Oh, that's a Ferrari. Brandon's off the track there, and Brandon is off the track here. Well, Brandon fans, you need to worry now, because he is at a moment moment. I'm not sure we had a moment, but he's got his cards in one piece. Roscoe is trying to go on the outside there. We got a 3-second penalty with Sam. Sam's retired from the race, and Roscoe's going to go up the inside here. And Brandon there is still keeping hold of those tyres. They're 15 laps old. Those tyres are. Roscoe there almost cutting the corner. I think he might have got away with that. Sam out of the race down to 13 runners then, so we're not far away from everyone scoring at the moment then. And this race has really lost some victims here. Sam out of the race as well then, so not the best of starts here in Russia then. Remember we do have free silver and gold that you get promoted in relegation, so a bit like the Football League. So really you don't want to have too many bad races, do you? For you might be racing on Monday nights. And back on board with Matt Lamont, as we said, returning to ALR this season, and he had a very good qualifying, but the race hasn't gone his way at the moment, has it? Brandon there is at the moment the cork in the bottle, and this is the close battle on track at the moment. Farshot is going to, but remember Farshot is not in the race then, so he ain't going to get any points even if his car is carrying on. I think we got Emerson, who is now up into 6th position in Emerson is. So Emerson having a good comeback drive here. He's doing a very good job indeed. Twang is dropping back slightly at the moment. And starting to spread out again now then. So we've got a bit of a calm part of the race then. We have 11 laps to go, and this is a good time to just quickly go through the story of the race, shall we? Oh, lovely from Brandon here. Unfortunately, Brandon was pointing the wrong way this time last time. So it's a very unusual place to spin by yourself. So unless, so I'm wondering if things got a bit too heated then perhaps. Well, hopefully. Well, it depends. We'll find out after the race. I have no doubt about that. Lap 17 out of 27. Granty, the champion, is leading this race at the moment from Jonathan by 7.6 seconds. So he is trying. I think he's trying to build a gap so he can so he can have another pit stop. So I don't think those soft tires are going to last from now to the end of the race. That would be impressive if they do, but I don't think they will. Second position is Jonathan. He is 7 seconds back. The problem that Jonathan's got is his penalties are really starting to mount up. He had a quirk in qualifying, but unfortunately in the race there it's not gone according to plan. Nigel, I think, is in the box seats at the moment to take race win number 1 of the first season, and Roscoe is now under a lot of pressure from Matt now, isn't he, as they come down the back straight. Brandon is starting to skate back off into this in the Ferrari. So it's between Roscoe, Matt and Steve, and look at the centre. It's and now we're at the inside. Where's Roscoe, and look, Steve has gone through as well. He has gone through on the inside. He takes 10th position there. So Roscoe's lost 2 positions there, and Roscoe is having a lunge. I wonder if Matt was just letting him back through there because it might have been a bit of cheeky there, that move there. But Matt there dropped down to 12th position there. So Roscoe unfortunately out the points, and Steve is back up in the points now then. Lovely stuff indeed then. Twang there is still within the DRS range of Storm at the moment, who's in 7th position. Let me quickly go back as Matt's got a 3-second penalty. Let me just quickly return back to the field at the moment. Echo in 4th position. He's having an inspired race at the moment. Emerson is through and up into 5th position then. And then Mr. Lee there is dropping down to 6th position then. But he's still in the fight, isn't he? Lovely shot here from Mr. Lee. He's on a fantastic race. Him and Echo are having a brilliant race out there. I'm loving this. And now then Mr. Elite then is had a bit of a difficult second season, didn't he? But his first season he really showed some impressive stuff, didn't he? And I think again, the McLaren is suiting him into his boots at the moment. He's doing a cracking job out there in 6th position. Emerson is in 5th then. Jonathan is now 8 seconds away there from Granty. Yeah, so Echo 3rd. Emerson is making a return, has come back from the field after a collision with Dan Murphy once again then. Massa Hamilton saga might be developing there. Storm is in 7th position then, 3 seconds back, and we've got Twang, who is now really causing Storm really causing some dark clouds, isn't he, in his racing life at the moment. Look at this, and Twang is through and up into 8th position then, and he has gone through good stuff from Twang then, who is having a battling over race out there. Storm down to 8th then, Brandon in 9th position, Steve is in 10th, with Roscoe and Matt, so 11th and 12th. Gamer half a minute back in 13th position then. And Gamer, of course, was on a really good race, wasn't it? Yellow flag, because Twang is on a problem. Twang is on a major problem there in the Renault, and he has damaged the car. He is in the pits. This is it. I think that is a big blow for Twang. Then he's gonna, and he comes into the pits, and he's gonna go into the soft tires, I presume, and come back into the. And Matt there going well off track there. So Twang there, I think he should get out in front of Gamer there, but this is a big blow, isn't it, for the Belgian, for Twang there, as he is he's on soft tires now, so expect the fastest lap then to go to Twang then, or maybe even Grant, depending on who does what then. But this is as Roscoe got 3-second penalty, so that's a big shame then for Big shame there for Twang there as he comes out of the pits now. He should be out in front of Gamer then. And now this is the battle for second. And it's Granty, who is 9 seconds in front of Jonathan there, and Jonathan has now got a lot of pressure there from Nigel. I don't think Nigel's got any penalties at the moment. And I was a bit quiet there because I'm actually trying to catch my breath because this has been an outstanding race, hasn't it? And I got to say, I've got to calm myself down there because I've still got another 8 laps to take you guys through this. And oh my god, I need to go to the gym, I think, because my stamina is really low now. As these guys are making me work for my pennies tonight, aren't they? Incredible stuff. As Emerson's got a 3-second penalty at the moment. Then, so this is the battle for second position. We got Emerson, who's now all over the back of Echo. Emerson is showing some truly incredible stuff here at the moment. As he's going to be feisty all the comments at the moment. Matt is 0.4 of a second away from Roscoe, and it's 0.4 of a second away from Roscoe at the moment. So that battle's also going to resume as well. Jonathan, I'm not sure. I think the penalty situation is quite dire for Jonathan at the moment. He's got 9 seconds worth of penalties. And that is not good at all, is it? On board then with Nigel. He is gaining. Jonathan there is going to stitch aside. Nigel takes second position. This might be a net lead, but look at the background. I think that was Emerson and Echo. It was Emerson and Echo, and Emerson is through. But Echo's going to try and sneak up on the inside. See, no, not quite. Jonathan is back into second position. Nigel's going to go in the second position now. He does. And he shows Jonathan a rear wheel there. And he is back in second position. Look at the background. It's Emerson and Echo also batting away as well. Oh, goodness me. And now Nigel is... I think Nigel is... I would say the net leader, but having said that, Granty is still pulling away from these guys, so this is interesting stuff. So I thought the soft tyres, they surely can't last to the end, can they? That'll be incredible if they do. We've got Brandon there, who is done the most times on these medium tyres, 19 laps. Can these soft tyres go to the end of the race? I don't think they can, but I've got to be honest, my strategy calls are completely wrong. Nigel there is now getting a lot of grief there from Jonathan at the moment, as this is the battle for second and third position. New F1 is through. As soon as I get off, I'm missing all the action today, aren't I? As soon as I get off, Brandon is moved up into 7th position there. Echo then down in 5th position, just behind Emerson. And but I think Echo will have DRS. Mr. Elite is just outside of DRS zone. Otherwise, we might have a free car. Jonathan's got another penalty there. And this track can be is definitely penalty dependent, isn't it? The gap is 10.3 seconds. Well, if Grant can go to the end of the race on those tyres, that'll be absolutely extraordinary. I don't think he can. Jonathan is going to go for it. Nigel there just moved across slightly, but Jonathan there through and back up into second position. And what about Echo? Echo is dropping back from Emerson now. Emerson, can Emerson win this race? That would be an amazing achievement from Emerson. It really would. Grant at the moment is going for win number 4 of his career. Nigel could go for win number 7 of his career. Of course, that means that Nigel would have won every time he has participated in an ALR season, which is a very similar stat to Lewis Hamilton at the moment, isn't it? But Jonathan there is really battling tooth and nail, isn't it? They have taken a lot. I was going to say they took a lot of time there out of Granty there. I just looked up and it's down to 9 seconds there. So This is getting very, very tasty indeed, isn't it? I think Granty's tyres might have hit the cliff there, as in Formula 1's engineers speak, possibly. We'll soon find out there, but you can see he's going back at 10 seconds. Let's see, he had a problem there. Nigel there is having a look there, but I think that's a very, very dangerous spot to have an overtake there, isn't it? A yellow flag in 2. Roscoe is gone, and he is out of the Russian Grand Prix. Roscoe and Matt is having an almighty scrap, wasn't he? And look at this, we've got Storm and Brandon. They're going to go back on the inside. He is back on the inside, but Storm there is storming through and up into 7th position then. And he's through them. So just taking a look to see where Roscoe's gone. I think Roscoe, yeah, that's an interesting place where he's gone off. As game we're getting lapped there. 10 seconds to go. Roscoe's left possession there. Back on board with Nigel there. This is the battle for second position. Can Granty do it then? We're back on board with Nigel. Nigel is through. He is through and back up into second position then. All this fighting is just helping Granty at the moment. Yellow flying free. What's going on in 3? Just taking a look. Nothing too important, I don't think. Because Brandon is now up into 7th position. He is through and up into 7th position. Storm is down to 8th position. Oh, he's going to push there going out of turn 2. Out of turn 2. It was out of turn 2. It was. And now Storm there is down into 8th position. Then Brandon back up to 7th position. Brandon's having a good day out there. Twang fans there. He has got the fastest up there. Emerson is now in earshot. I think that. I wonder if Grant is going to stick it out there. This is an interesting race, isn't it? Emerson is now involved in this battle as well, and this is not what Nigel wanted, was it? Or Jonathan, I don't think. As Emerson's got a 3-second penalty there. The penalty is starting to stack up for Emerson as well in last year's season's roundabout. Twango's getting a penalty as well. As Movies said, no, Team Twango fast in last. Twang there is he could get some points. He could get some points there. He's got these stuck on a set of soft tires, hasn't he? Granty has done 12 laps on those soft tires. He is the gap is yo-yoing around at the moment because these guys are battling tooth and nail for the second position at the moment. And I think it's helping Grant, isn't it? We got 23 out of 27. This is going to be edge of your seat stuff, isn't it? Granty, can he get off the season to a perfect start with an incredible win here today? Well, we'll find out there as well. Jonathan has got a couple of has got at least 12 seconds worth of penalties, I think. Nigel might be in prime place, but maybe with this man Emerson will be now as well. We're on board of Emerson. Jonathan there is in the middle of the track. He is his next target. Echo is not too far behind as well. We're down to 12 runners, and Roscoe out, Sam out, Farf out, Racer out, Gunnar out, and Murphy out as well, and also Farshot out as and Jonathan there. My goodness me, that definitely woke Emerson up, didn't it? Well, woke me up. And the gap is down to 9.6 seconds now. At the moment, I think these guys are definitely battling. This is going to be very tasty as well. We got 5 laps to go. What an incredible start to the ALR season. This has been amazing, hasn't it? Edge of your seats kind of stuff. Wherever you're watching the world, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're having a blast watching, having your Sunday roast if you have Sunday roast for tea time or lunchtime. I do not know. I'd rather have my Sunday roast for lunch personally. But there you go. Whatever you're eating, whatever you're watching, whatever you're drinking, I hope you're having an absolutely splendid time. I think these guys are not having a splendid time because I'll bet you it's getting very tense under the helmets. 9.4 the gap is at the moment. It's not coming down quick enough, is it? And Mr. Elite is through and past Echo, is he? Where is Echo? We're looking at Echo. He should be on the left-hand side, is he? No. Yes, he is. He is on the left-hand side. He's going to have a look. Not quite. As Mr. Elite there parts it beautifully well, but Echo has got Echo. I gotta say, Mr. Elite and Echo have done absolutely outstanding today. Echo is back on the inside. Nigel's got a 3-second penalty, and they're going to be battling going up into turn 2, or whichever turn it is. So Jonathan is 5/10 of a second back. Emerson is looking more menacing at the moment. Mr. Elite is back up in the 5th position in front of Echo, and we've also got Steve as finally Brandon comes into the pits, and he's going to throw on a set of soft tires and watch him fly as well. Echo is through and past Mr. Lee and moved up into 5th position then. Oh, is he though? Because look at this, he's going to go on the outside. He is going on the outside then. He will have the inside to turn 4 if he can stick it out there. No, Echo is just slamming the door, and he has got every right to do so because he is the car in front. Look at that train in the foreground there. Did you see that train in the foreground there? Twang is back in the points. He's going to get 2 points for fastest up, remember. You get a point for fastest up these days. So that's definitely going to help Twang's performance, but I think Brandon might take it off him actually. This is, I don't know where to watch. This is incredible stuff, isn't it? The gap is down to 9 seconds, and Granty is not far away from him now. The gap is it's dropping down now. His tyres might be gone, but these guys are battling each other. It's really helping Granty, isn't it? I got to say, this is going to be a race to the line. A race to the line then. And this is an absolutely stupendous race then. Really has. And look at this, and now Nigel just needs to kind of start to get clear, doesn't he? Really, because it's down to 8.9 seconds on it. We're on lap 24. We're going to be on lap 25, I think, in the minute when Granty comes round. And so the gap, he's got 3 laps. He's got an 8.6 second lead with 3 laps to go. And oh my gosh, who is going to win this Russian Grand Prix then? This is anyone's ball game. I figured it does depend on how long those soft tires can last. He's done 15 laps on those soft tires. That is unheard of. Emerson is now, he wants to get on the podium then. He is already on the podium, I think, in terms of the penalties, isn't he? Oh no, because Emerson's got another penalty now. I think Jonathan and Emerson are going to be very close for penalties. I think Jonathan's got one more than Emerson at the moment. He is going to go under. Jonathan's not going to let him. He's not going to let him. Jonathan has still got the performance. Mr. Elite is through and up into 5th position. Echo has dropped down to the 6th position. They are 5 seconds away from this battle now, as they were only 2 seconds a couple of laps ago. Oh, Jonathan's gone white there as he's feeling the pinch there. 8.7 seconds the gap is now this lap. Jonathan's got another penalty as well. These penalties are starting to mount up. This lap, Granty has actually extended his gap, and that is perfect, isn't it? From a Granty point of view. Try saying that when you're drunk. Yeah, Granty at the moment is down to 8.5 seconds. He is doing enough though. He's doing enough with just 2 or 3 laps to go. Emerson is trying to go on the inside. This is going to be a barnstormer finish. Man's got a 3-second penalty. Who is in front? Jonathan is still in front. He is forcing them onto the grass there. And Jonathan there being brutal, slamming the door completely shut there, and he is on his way. Wow! And he's got a bit tail up. Oh, he's gone on the wall. He's gone on the wall, but I think he's all right. He hasn't damaged the car then. And now Emerson is going to go on the inside. Is he into turn 17? No. And Jonathan there is just about keeping on. He is out of DRS range now. Then lap 26 out of 27, 8.3 seconds. Remember that time, 8.3 seconds then, and we'll see. And look, Emerson's already going through. He's already going through. He's already alongside before DRS. DRS is open. And now Emerson is now up into 3rd position. 8.3 seconds of gap at the moment. And Echo is back through. These two are in a cracking old race. They're brilliant stuff. And Brandon is now almost on the back end of Twang now. They are getting very close. They're getting very close. And Jonathan on the outside. Jonathan on the outside. Brandon's gone faster than Emerson is still in front. And they are very close there. And I gotta say, this is a very brutal battle. We've got a yellow flag in 2. I'm not sure what's happening in 2. Then we'll find out soon. I can't take my eyes on it because Jonathan is not giving up, is he? He's not giving up. 7.4 seconds gap. I think it's too much. Yellow flag in sector on the back straight. I was big because we just come up to the yellow flag zone, and it was where Grant is 7.1 seconds. I think Grant has just done enough with 1. We got 2 more laps to go, everyone. And Jonathan there is not giving up this, is he? And now he's going to go on the outside. Where is he? Emerson is on the inside, and Emerson there parking the car beautifully. Nigel is checked out in front of us now, so Nigel there can now start to just focus entirely on Grant. I think it might have come a couple of laps too late, but it's down to 6.8 seconds, and we got 1 lap to go. Grant's tires are screaming. He's done 16, 17 laps on the soft compound tires. This is coming into the final lap then of the Russian Grand Prix. Mr. Elite and Heco have had a duel for the ages. This race has been a race for the ages. It's been a fantastic race. We're down to 12 cars. Twang is outside the points at the moment. Brandon's got fastest lap. We're on board there with Jonathan, the British Italian driver. He's going to go side by side with Emerson. Emerson is showing some class today, isn't he? As he is battling tooth and nail, but Emerson is... Oh, he's got in too deep. He's got in too deep. Now Jonathan's going to blast on the outside, or is he? They are side by side going through the infamous turn 3. And now Emerson is still through. He is still up into the 3rd position then. 5.9 seconds of gap is now on Big Jonathan. Oh my god, and Emerson is almost being robust in this defender. And Jonathan is on the inside. And wheel to wheel. But Emerson has still got it then. Wow. 5.6 seconds of gap as the gap is coming down. I think Nigel needed 1 more lap, maybe 2 more laps to get this. But look at this. Oh, and now Emerson is really battling as hard as he can. This has been an absolutely incredible battle. An absolutely incredible race. 4.8 seconds the gap is now, and I think Grant, he's just done enough. He just get a puncture, and Jonathan is now going to go on the inside. He'll return to the outside into turn 13. He is through, but where Emerson is still through. He's gone deep. Emerson has. Jonathan's going to go on the outside. It's down to 4.7 seconds. And look at this. They're almost interlocking wheels. Jonathan is now down into 4th position, and Emerson has got through. Granty is through the final corner. Granty, the world champion, coming through to win the Russian Grand Prix. Incredible race there from Granty. What a drive with 18 laps, so soft tyres. Emerson in 3rd position. Jonathan in... No! Echo has gone up in the 3rd position with Mr. Elite in 4th position. Brilliant driving from Echo and Mr. Elite. Emerson in 5th. Jonathan in 6th position. Steve has I think Steve has gone up into 6th position. Jonathan's penalties are really have really dropped down to 7th there. Matt is in 8th position. Storm is down in 9th position. Brandon is in 10th then with Twang. Can he he finished in 11th position, and Gamer in 12th position. So that is our full classification then here in the Russian Grand Prix. Retirements: Farshot, Roscoe, Sam, Farf, Laggy, Gunnar and Dan Murphy all retired from this Russian Grand Prix. An absolutely outrageous race there from Granty for 18 laps on those soft compound tyres. It's his first win of the season, his 4th win of his career. Brilliant stuff. Echo having a strong result there for 3rd. Nigel there, of course. So they are current champion versus our former champion, season 2 champion Granty. Season 1 Nigel 1st and 2nd. And Echo making it on the podium now. Cracking drive there from Echo. Brilliant drive indeed. He had a cracking drive with Mr. Elite then. Incredible. So there he is. Granty, the defending champion, gets off to an absolutely superlative start. Who can stop this man? Car 29 in brilliant style. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And of course, it's great to see Nigel on the podium there as well. We're going to have 2 champions going head to head, are we? And we cannot discount out Echo either. And of course, Echo in his first 4 races have been absolutely stellar, hasn't he? I don't think he's finished in the points in every single race he started so far for ALR. So that man's consistency can definitely be something to really stick your teeth into this season. Let's just take a quick look at the final classification, shall we, from the race there. Absolutely stupendous, isn't it? Granty from 2nd on the grid to win his 3rd race for the Williams team, but his 4th race of his career there. Nigel is 2nd there from 4th on the grid. We had Echo from 6th to 3rd there. Great drive there. Mr. Elite from 13th to 4th. An incredible drive there. Emerson went 5th in the end. Him and Murphy came together again. It's a Hamilton master saga there, isn't it? Steve from no penalties at all got up to 6th position. Jonathan, the pole sitter, unfortunately 7th. Matt 8th, Storm 9th, and Brandon 10th position. Twang and Gamer finished 11th and 12th position. That was the classification from the Russian Grand Prix. And I'm going to need to lie down because I've got a headache. Absolutely incredible stuff. Let's quickly go through the comments then before we interview the drivers, shall we, from a stupendous race. We've got Jonathan saying points on points, happy for Echo and the team there. Nathan Hughes, 5th and bad for Emerson. Some good ground was gained. Jonathan saying a Titanic scrap between himself and Emerson. It was a Titanic scrap. Very nice to be knocked out of the points there from Gamer. We got movies. Greetings from San. I don't know what that is. San, Lenz and me. Twang, good race, excellent stuff, and we cheered all the way. Great stuff indeed. Granty, I gotta say, it was an alright race for you, wasn't it?
Wow. Yeah, can you hear me?
Just yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I think we can hear you on the stream. I think Nose will be shouted down my ear if we can. Anyway, Granty, incredible race. 18 laps on those soft tyres. I was convinced you needed to stop. Where did that incredible strategy come from?
Mate, I thought the only way I was going to get the guys on the safety car was the soft tyres. And Jeff was calling me out 5 laps before to say pit in. And I had like a 10-second gap, and like it was saying that I was going to pull out into like 8th place, and I was like, I don't even want to risk this, so I'm just going to go to the end. And I just kept it in lean, no errs. I had the gap, so I just used the errs and the rich mode on straights, and just kept it in the race pace. And yeah, it was very slidey at the end. I think my tyres were like 70% at the end, so yeah, I'm pretty chuffed on that.
I don't blame you at all. I was convinced that you was going to have to pit after 10, 12 laps, but how you got 18 laps from that was absolutely amazing stuff. I would say you're not only a quick driver now, but you've mastered the strategy as well. That's a very scary combination there. Brilliant stuff there. I got to say, is that your best run of your ALR career? Would you put it up there, or is that all right?
I'll definitely put it up there, considering of what I've done last season in Russia. I think I'll take credit for actually winning this one. And obviously, like, you know, I did have 1 penalty. The guys had penalties in the background, and that's where I got a bit questionable. Like, shall I pit? Is it worth doing? You know, I could end up with a wing damage or spin out, or you know. So I thought, just gotta keep it, mate. And yeah, just stuck to what I wanted to do. So yeah, no, very chuffed with it. It's definitely up there.
Absolutely golden. Congratulations. And perfect start. Your 4th win of your ALR career. Incredible stuff. Well done, Granty.
Thank you very much.
We'll come to the man that you succeeded in the championship, and that was Nigel. Nigel, I got to say, you had a titanic battle there with John Cox and yourself. I got second position. Are you happy with that, or do you feel that the win was there?
No, I'm happy with it. It was a good race. I had a lot of fun with Jonathan, and yeah, position 2 was the best I can do this race.
When you seen Grant out on the soft tires, were you convinced he was going to pit again, or did you?
Yeah, that was definitely should think, oh my God, he's doing it. He thinks, so no, I don't do it. I don't do it. I was convinced he had to pit again for another soft.
And
yeah, he didn't.
Pressure was there, mate.
Because you were bearing down on with I think it was a lap to go, and you got down to 4 seconds. One more lap, then it would have been Titanic. But you had a good old battle there with Jonathan there, didn't you? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was fun. But I don't want to battle with him. There's so much pressure, and I don't want to go past him and just go.
Stupendous stuff, mate, and I got to say that's an absolutely perfect start to your season as well. I'm looking forward to watching you and Granty battle it out. That's gonna be great. And let's come to Echo, shall we? I got to say, Echo, your stats at ALR are absolutely sublime, mate. I think that I got to say that you're definitely going to be in there or thereabouts. So 23 points in 3 starts. Well, that's going to go well up now. Your podium again here for yourself. That race was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually. Qualifying could have been better. I was actually hoping to start on the medians, but thankfully, I was actually on the softs, and I think I had a decent strategy in the end. Congratulations to Granty and Nigel. The fact that Granty was on them soft tires, me and Jono was like, he's got to pit surely, and yeah, it just wasn't going to happen. But no, I'm happy with 3rd. You say that I'm going to be up there with the big boys pretty much. I don't think it's going to happen. I think today it was just more down to everyone else got penalties around me, so I think I just got lucky today.
That's half the battle though with league races, isn't it? By keeping your penalties down, but you're very clean. And I got to say that I was torn between watching the incredible battle between Jonathan Cox and Nigel, but you and Mr. Elite was phenomenal racing, wasn't it? It got a bit heated. I thought a bit of wheel banging, but of course we could have a good tap here and there. How was that for you?
Oh, it felt like my heart was in my throat. There was a point where he did actually cut the corner and to overtake. I was a little bit annoyed and everything, but I was like, well, he's got 6 seconds, I've got 3-second penalties. So I was like, I know I could still get him. I still had to pay some tyres, and yeah, I mean, for fair play to Mr. Elite, really clean racing, especially around this track where it's quite difficult to like go side by side. But thank you for. I think probably both of us were glad that the race is over and that we don't have to fight anymore. So, but no, fair play to him. It was a good race. Some good overtaking news from both of us. So hopefully we can carry that on going forward. Yeah.
Well done, guys. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Echo, brilliant stuff. Nigel and Granty, amazing stuff as well. Brilliant driving up and down the field today. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Of course, we're back in a week's time. We're not on the official calendar anymore, so I've actually got to take a look at my notes. We are in China, not Bahrain, next week. So that's going to throw up some interesting results as well, isn't it? So congratulations to all 3 drivers on the rostrum tonight. It's been brilliant stuff. A week's time, we're back in China, but tomorrow night we're going for silver as for the first ever race in the ALR Silver League. Oh, that's going to be intense as well, isn't it? They got a lot to live up to from tonight's race, I got to say. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7:30. Otherwise, if you want some more gold action, that is next week at 6:30. But for now, it's goodbye.